Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for being a little bit late. We've had a few technical problems here at Rebels Radio, but the game has already started. We'll bring you the teams in a couple of minutes. The game is just underway. We're 2 minutes into the game. Ball's on the far-hand side. Kavanagh comes over and clears just outside his own penalty box for Slough. Taken quickly by Putman towards Rumbold. Rumbold breaking into the box, back towards Putman on the far-hand side. He's looking to get an option. Gets across into the far side, trying to find Barney, but it's cleared by Bedworth, and it comes into the feet of Dubidat. Dubidat can break away with Stonehouse just closing him down. Up forwards to Archer, but Hicks comes across and Stonehouse gets touch of the ball and plays it across to Guy Hollis. It's a very windy day here at Holloway's Park, and teams will try and keep the ball onto the floor. It's given away to Marsden, and then it's with Creaney. Creaney just giving it to Westwood. Just overhits the ball there, and Luke Rowe, the left back, can't keep it in. So, good afternoon. Apologies for being late. Will's with me here in the commentary box, and we'll bring you all the action as it comes in. We'll try and get everything set up. As Fraser takes the phone, looking for MPs, clearly pushed in the back there, but not seen by the referee. And Slough will have the ball through Warren Harris. He kicks out of touch and out of play. Just some team news for you. Charlie MP making his 50th appearance here for the Rebels, and Sean Fraser starts at right back, making his 150th game for Slough Town. We're just waiting for someone to retrieve the ball for a throw-in. It's a throw-in for Bedworth, which Luke Rowe, the left back, will take just in front of our commentary position here. It'll be if he gets any distance on that, it'll be a surprise in this wind. It's played forward. Hicks with the first header, flicked on by MP, looking for the run of Barney, and it's agricultural clearance there by the captain, Nathan Haynes. We'll just quickly run through the teams with you, starting with Bedworth United, all in green. Denham Hines in goal, 2 Daniel Kavanagh, 3 Luke Rowe, 4 Andrew Westwood, 5 and captains Nathan Haynes, 6 Richard Bryan, 7 is Justin Marsden, 8 Elliot Parrott, 9 Jordan Archer, 10 Daniel Dubidet, 11 is Daniel Creaney. As Slough take a long throw with Guy Hollis playing with the wind. It's headed away there, cleared as far as Dubidet, not far outside his own penalty. Gives the ball to Rowe, chased down by MP, and that one's overhit. Substitutes for Bedworth today is 12 Easton Christie, 14 Arno Wint, 15 is Harry Walker Donovan, 16 is Rudy Misambo. For the Rebels, Mark Scott in goal, Sean Fraser with his 150 appearance coming back into the side, Paul Stonehouse, 4 Guy Hollis, 5 Dan Hicks, 6 captain Lee Rumbold, 7 is Lewis Putman, Nathan Webb 8, Charlie MP 9, Lee Barney 10, 11 is Warren Harris. I'll run through the subs for Slough in a minute. The ball's just gone out of play for a Slough throw, which Fraser will take very quickly for the Rebels. Again, looking for MP. MP trying to flick on. It's another throw for Slough. This time, I thought Hollis was going to go forward. He's going to leave it for Fraser to take. And Slough are throwing not far away from the Bedworth box. Fraser looking for an option. That option is MP. MP's beaten to the ball by Rowe, and Slough will have another throw. Substitutes for the Rebels, 12 is Jai Dillon, 14 Gherkin Gottman, 15 Ryan Hope, and 16 is Ed Smith. As the ball's just kept in out there by Rowe, just stops the ball going for a corner. It's a throw in deep inside by the corner flag, which Guy Hollis will run over to take. The referee for today is Jonathan Creswick, assisted by Jack Ahone and Paul Andrews. We're currently 6 minutes into the game. It's 0-0 here at Holloway's Park. Slough just shooting with the wind for this first half. Going towards the shed end, which is not their usual method of play. Long throw in from Hollis. It's flicked on by Rumbold. It's in the penalty area. MP's trying to flick it in. It's a bit of goal mouth scrambled. It's cleared only as far as Putman. Putman about 25-30 yards away from goal, being pushed back by Marsden. He's beating Marsden on that far hand side, but Marsden does well to win the ball back. And then Hicks puts a foot in for Slough. It's come to Kavanagh, and he just plays the ball forward looking for Dubidat. Well won there by Sean Fraser. Wins a free kick as well. Will. And
Dubidat has given away a foul there. It's a bit of a soft one, but it's been a bit of a scruffy start to the game, but Slough had some good attacking placed throw-ins as they move the ball forwards down on the left-hand side to looking for Nathan Webb. Puts a cross in, but it's well blocked since come out clear to Lee Rumbold.
Rumbold with the ball over, looking for Warren Harris, but unfortunately just caught in the wind there, and it's out for a goal kick. And the wind, it's
going to affect the game today.
It is going to affect the game quite a lot. The wind is extremely strong here. It's literally blowing with Slough, so it's left to right, but it's slightly coming across the pitch. And Hines' first goal kick of the game, we'll see if he can get any kind of distance on this goal kick. Hines in a light blue goalkeeping kit, all matching one colour. And he kicks it long. He does well to just about reach halfway line. Rumbold underneath it with Parrott. The ball will come through to Bedworth. Again, it's catching in the wind. I think the wind's literally coming across the pitch, and both teams just going to try and get hold of that. As Fraser takes the throw for Slough. Nathan Hines beats the ball too, but it's fallen into the path of Warren Harris, trying to release Barney, but Barney was offside, and that will be that, and it will be a free kick to Bedworth just outside their penalty area. Will, what you made of the first 6 or 7 minutes?
Well, I think Slough are going to try and make the most of this wind, which is hopefully going to stay behind them for most of this first half. Looking for a couple of balls in behind and catch the Bedworth defence out. Also, I'm not sure we're going to persist with the long throw-ins, as the ball might catch on and might cause problems, or it might cause problems for Slough as well. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so Hines will take this free kick for Bedworth, kicks it long, aims towards Archer. The ball's come down and Archer's won a free kick for a foul by Dan Hicks, and a little bit of a dangerous area. It's about 30 yards away from goal, and Bedworth look to go forward. They're not going to send Nathan Hines forward for this one, and it's going to be Luke Rowe that will take the free kick for Bedworth, and like I say, he's playing into the wind, so we'll see just how much of a distance he can get on this kick. So Rowe with this free kick, 10 minutes gone here at Holloway's Park, plays it into the danger zone. It's not cleared properly by Slough. It's come across goal, and it's still blocked around. Then a header by Guy Hollis takes it as Dubberdup was about to shoot. The ball's broken through to Marston. Marston's trying to get the ball back, but Hollis again. Great defending by Guy Hollis. There's some fantastic defending. Gets a header away as Dubberdup was just lining up to volley that one in, and then he's chased that rebound down and got that one as well. And he's played it off a Bedworth plate, and it's a throw in to Slough on that far hand side.
Could say Slough got a little bit lucky there as it bobbled around, but Hollis managed to get his body in the way and clear that. It's going to go out for a
Bedworth throw
in there.
And we're just waiting
about
for
halfway line
waiting
here
for someone to grab a ball as the ball's just thrown in. It's got caught in the wind and only just makes it onto the pitch. Luke Rowe will take this throw in for Bedworth just inside the Slough half. Again, trying to get some distance on it. It's flicked on by Creaney and in an offside position, Bedworth, and it's going to be goal kick, free kick to Slough. And Mark's got in a navy blue all-in-one kit today, which is that makes a change from his usual bright orange or his luminous green. He's maybe found some colour taste.
His first kick of the game, we'll see just how far this one goes with the wind behind him.
Yeah, I have got Mark Scott to score this season, so and he's told me if he scores today he's going to celebrate wildly, or as wild as he can do. As Hollis misjudges the ball, Fraser comes across to clear for Slough, up towards Empire. Empire up against Brian. Ball's played forward, and Archer being held there, ball's played forward, and Kavanagh heads back towards goalkeeper Hines, and they'll slow the game down for a little bit. So if you do want to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, it's at MyFC Rebels Radio, all one word, all lowercase. If you want to contact us and tweet us with anything that you want to find out, as Fraser takes a throw quickly towards Barney. Barney, well, he tries to control it with, let's say, his behind. He doesn't. The ball's come through for Westwood, trying to find the break there. Stonehouse first to it. It's come to Barney. Barney this time holds the ball up for Slough. Gives it to Warren Harris on this right-hand side. Chance to run at Rowe on this near-hand side. He's still got the ball. He plays it off Rowe. It's a throw-in for Slough. And Slough, they're going to send forwards. Guy Hollis looks like he's going to send this one forwards. There are a few games postponed in our league today, so there won't be a lot of goals flowing around. But Guy Hollis is going to go down and take this long throw for Slough. He's about 6 or 7 yards away from the corner flag, so he's going to get a lot of distance here with the wind literally coming across. It's played into the box, flicked on by Hicks. It's only come through, and then some good challenge. The ball's come through to Rumbold. Slough still got it somehow. Rumbold out towards Putman. Putman does a dummy, shoots, blocked by Kavanagh to Nathan Webb. It's played into the box. Hicks has still got it to Warren Harris. Cleared by Rowe, only as far as Rumbold. Rumbold just plays the ball back to Stonehouse. Picks up just inside his own house. Long ball forwards by Stonehouse. Again, catches in the wind and safely out for a goal kick. But goalmouth scramble there.
Yeah, plenty of players in the way though for Bedworth, and they managed to get a couple of blocks in. As Slough players weren't quite set to take a shot. Then there was a good block, I think, by Kavanagh from the Putman shot where he managed to find himself a bit of space, but it comes to nothing in the end, and Bedworth have a goal kick.
Yep, so Hines will take this goal kick for Bedworth. We've played 12 minutes here at Holloway's Park. It remains 0-0, and not many Bedworth fans have made the journey down today. It's been I believe it's I think the polite word is persistent rain over near Bedworth, as Fraser clears the ball down the line looking for Barney, and it's Brian that heads home safely just as MP was trying to come round there and get the ball, but good defending by the Bedworth defender. And Hines has the ball, and he's just trying to get a bit of distance. It's caught high in the wind there. It's just made it over the halfway line. Nathan Webb beaten to the ball. He'll come out to Warren Harris. Warren Harris got Rowe on him, trying to cut past. Good challenge there, but the ball's come to Hollis. He's played the ball over the top. Now Barney's into on goal here. He's got a chance. He's onside. He's slowed the game down. Right, Fraser on the overlap. Puts the cross in. Mpe trying to header it. It's cleared in by Bedworth. And Dubidat will come and try and relieve the pressure. Does well to play it into the path of Parrott. Then the ball down from Craney, looking for the run of Archer. Hollis does well to come over, win the ball, and plays it off Archer to win a throw in. But Slough just trying to play with this wind, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Heaney almost got caught out by the bounce and the wind there, but he did manage to get his head on the ball and head it back safely to keeper, but there's possibly signs of things to come.
Yeah, just waiting for the ball to come back in. We're just waiting for something. We're just waiting for Ed Smith, who's an unused sub at the moment, just running across the pitch on the far hand side. Long throw again. It's cleared easily by Haynes, only as far as Webb. He doesn't get the best of contacts on it, but Rumbold will try and pass it through. Well spotted by Kavanagh, but Rumbold wins the ball first for Slough. Still got it, trying to release MP, but Luke Rowe, who's captain, he always seems to have a captain's armband on, but I've not got him down as captain today, but there you go. Ball's thrown into Rumbold. He turns, plays it across to Webb, just inside the Slough half. Cross to Stonehouse, back on loan from Oxford City. Stonehouse is going to shoot distance. Oh, great save there from Hines. Lovely shot by Paul Stonehouse, who shot from literally 30 odd yards out. It looked like he'd put it onto his right foot. Lovely one. Full strength save by Hines. Great goalkeeping there, but nice to see Slough shoot from the outside of the penalty area.
On his supposed weaker foot, it was a fantastic shot, and Hines had to scramble across his goal to reach that.
Slough have the ball through Nathan Webb, but the referee says that
Hollis was
pulling Archer. I think it's just 50-50, but there you go. That's how it is. But Mr. Creswick says that's a foul. It'll be a free kick to Bedworth, 5 or 6 yards just inside their own half.
And in one of the few games which is still on, Histon have taken the lead away to Hitchin. That was a couple of minutes ago, though.
Oh, look at that. So it's a free kick for Bedworth. Hines, the goalkeeper, has come out of his box to take this one. He's going to have to make sure he gets some distance, or he could get lobbed with a 80-yard shot or something with the way it's going. But Hines, long clearance down. Again, catches in the wind. Underneath it is Dubidat. Does well to head it into the path of Archer, but Slough come across. It's come through to Marsden. Marsden immediately closed down by a couple of players. Good tackle there by Webb. Then Westwood clears up for Bedworth. Out towards Kavanagh, the right back, in acres of space. Puts a low ball in, but only as far as Rumbold. Rumbold plays the ball out, looking for Warren Harris. And Warren Harris can bring the ball out with Slough on the attack. Crossing the halfway line, cuts inside Rowe, who slips. Rowe does really well as he slips on the floor. Gets the leg out, blocks the ball. Up towards Dubidat. Dubidat trying to play the ball in, but Webb comes across for Slough. Gives it back to Warren Harris, back to Rumbold, and game's just caught in the centre circle there, back towards Fraser. Fraser takes a touch, ball down the line, comes through to Empire. Empire will do well to stretch and get that one. He's just overrun that one a little bit, and he's adjudged to have fouled Kavanagh there. The two of them just collided. Just Empire looks like he may have come off a little bit worse. There's nothing malicious in that one, just two players going for the ball. And
it was 50-50 ball, and both players went for it. And both stretching, I think. MP just caught Kavanagh late, but on the follow through from Kavanagh's clearance, he caught
MP's back on his feet. Well. He seems to be fine. As a Slough fan doesn't seem to think that there was a foul there. It did seem to be a 50-50 kind of battle, but there you go. The referee said it was a foul. I can't understand what the referee's having a. What's he say? I think the referee's been a little bit pedantic here. He's making Hines go back. He's literally gone back about 3 foot. It seemed to be a little bit silly, but there you go. That's the referee's. That's his decision so far. Hines will take this free kick for Bedworth, halfway inside his own half. Again, looking for Creaney on that far-hand side. Fraser comes across for Slough. Webb wins the ball in the centre of midfield. Plays it out to Stonehouse. Stonehouse just dinking the ball over the top, looking for the run of MP. It hits MP on the back. It's fallen nicely to Kavanagh, who's going to dink a ball over the top, looking for the run of Archer. Archer does well, chests the ball down on the edge of the area, shoots across goal, but unfortunately it's a bit too far across goal and not close enough to Creaney on that far post, and out safely for a goal kick. And there's quite a few games going off. Hungerford have just scored at St Neots. So it's St Neots 1 Hungerford 0. Games postponed today. Surprisingly, one of the games postponed is Merthyr on their 3G pitch. Apparently it hammered down about an hour and a half before kick-off. So games that are called off today is Frome Dunstable, that's off. Kettering Portland Rovers, that's off. Merthyr Chippenham, Poole versus Biggleswade, Stratford versus Dorchester, and Weymouth versus Leamington. All those games are called off. As Fraser heads the ball forwards, it's won by Rowe. Dinks the ball over looking for Creaney, but Fraser comes back, wins the ball again. This time it's cleared by Parrott, only as far as Rumbold. Rumbold out to Warren Harris, and Warren Harris just gets a bit of a bobble there, trying to play it forwards. It's out for a throw-in, and the pitch here not too bad, but a little bit uneven here at Holloway's Park, as Rowe's just waiting for maybe the wind to die down before taking that throw. Long throw, it's kicked on by Creaney, only as far as Archer, but he's dispossessed by Hollis and then does well to win the ball back. It's come through to Dubedat. Good challenge there by Nathan Webb. Two players going for the ball. It's Parrott that brings the ball out, looking on the far hand side for Marsden. Marsden trying to knock the ball past Stonehouse. Stonehouse does really well to come back, but Marsden's won the ball back on that far hand side. Gets time to cross, but not good enough cross. Easily into the arms of Mark Scott, and he gives it to Stonehouse, and Stonehouse evades the challenge of Parrott. Gives it to Rumbold. Rumbold's caught down there by Westwood, but brings the ball out. Crossing the halfway line. Does well to just go past Luke Rowe. Plays it into Warren Harris. Acres of space for Harris. He does well to keep the ball in. He's into the penalty box. Crossing. And Nathan Hines does well to get his head onto that one. Good break there by Slough, but good defending by Haynes.
Some really good play by Lee Rumbold, going past one or two defenders and then laying off Warren Harris, who's free, to set up a 3 against 3 counter-attack. But Haynes did really well to cover the grounds and block the cross in.
The first corner of the game for the Rebels. It's going to be taken by Lewis Putman, and this will be an in-swinging corner, and this will be interesting to see how the wind affects it. It's died down just a touch at the moment, but Putman will take this corner. It's gone near post. It's well cleared by Parrott as far as Marsden, but he's closed down by Warren Harris and out for a throw-in. Slough just not making the most of these set pieces at the moment.
No, just can't quite seem to find a Slough Town shirt, and the Bedworth doing really well to get the bodies in the way and block any attempt we do have. But you'd have to say Slough probably had the best chances so far, but Bedworth have caused a couple of problems themselves.
Yep. Throw in by Rowe, it's flicks on by Webb towards Rumbold. Rumbold just takes his time, plays it into Warren Harris, back towards Webb. Webb will try and flick that one out to the far hand side, but the ball catches in the air. Kavanagh can clear for Bedworth, and that's a foot race between Stonehouse and Marsden, and Stonehouse flicks it back to Scott, and he hits it first time as the ball just got to dodge that bounce in the penalty box. He's kicked it straight out, and it's a throw on the far hand side, just by the away dugouts on that far hand side for Bedworth. We've played 20 minutes here. It's at Holloway's Park. It's 0-0. Bedworth take the throw quickly to Dubedat. Dubedat as well to turn and play the ball into Archer. Archer up against Hollis, and there's Hollis sees it out, but there's a little clash there between Hicks and Dubedat off the ball, and the referee is just going to pull both players over there.
Didn't quite see what happened, but they did run into each other, but not sure if one blocked the other one off, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, so the referee, Mr. Creswick, just has a chat to the two players. Maybe he's just saying, where did you get those fantastic luminous yellow boots from? He's obviously very jealous, as both players have got luminous yellow boots on today. And the referee just sends them off, and the game will restart. It's a goal kick to Slough. Mark Scott will take. He's just ordered the Slough players just to come over to the left-hand side of the pitch, because that's where the wind seems to be blowing it across. Still waiting for this kick to be taken. Scott drills this long kick down. Haynes is underneath it for Bedworth, and then Rumbold's pushed into the back there by Westwood it is, and Slough just looking to take it quickly, try and flick the ball out towards Putman. Putman does well to control it. He's up against Kavanagh, turns inside, still got the ball. He's got Stonehouse on his out-hand side, plays it into Barney. Barney back to Stonehouse. Stonehouse with a heavy touch gives it to Rumbold. Rumbold's closed down by Parrott, brings the ball forwards, comes off Marsden. Rumbold still got the ball just on that far left touchline. Still up against Marsden, plays it inside to Putman. Putman with a little bit of space there, just takes off one challenge from Parrott, gives it back to Stonehouse. Stonehouse played it through to Barney. Barney towards Putman. Putman on the edge of the area. Putman trying to get the return ball from Rumbold. He's just looped a heavy ball in there. It's flicked on by Creaney. Good defending. And then Bedworth come across and clear the ball only as far as Archer. Heads it back towards Creaney. Creaney's immediately closed down by a couple of players, trying to flick it out to Rowe, but does well to keep the ball in with the wind coming across. Up towards Creaney. Creaney got time to turn. Plays it into Dubedat. Dubedat controls inside his own half. Turns Rumbold and looking for a ball, but not the best of balls. It's come to Hollis. Hollis will just dink this ball, looking for the run of Empire. Empire in a foot race here with Haynes, but the ball just catches in the wind. It's safely out for a Bedworth goal kick.
It's the first time either team have really got some passes together there. Slough has some really good interplay, but not really going anywhere. And then Bedworth themselves pushing the ball forwards with some good passing until Hollis intercepted and booted it long, and just ending that run of play.
Yeah, so game will restart with a goal kick from the goalkeeper Denham Hines. Just taking a few steps back here. And again, everyone's just come over to this near hand side where the main stand is along the side. Does well to get a bit of distance on that one. Then Webb and Westwood challenge. The ball's broken nicely to Marsden. Marsden looking for the run, and now Archer's through here, and he's given a corner here. I think Bedworth were players were maybe looking for a foul there on Archer, but I think that's what's commonly described as a proper challenge. Although
it's going to be a free kick here on the edge of the box.
Actually, the referee is booking Sean Fraser for that challenge. And he has actually given a free kick rather than a corner. So, Fraser marks his 150th appearance for Slough with a yellow card. And that was a bit of a surprise. I thought it was a fairly decent challenge. As it is, it's going to be a free kick to Bedworth. It's literally a couple of yards outside of the Slough penalty box. And it's about 4 or 5 yards away from the left-hand post. 4-man wall for the Rebels, as it looks like Luke Rowe will be the man that takes this for Bedworth. He's lining up the free kick. He's going to shoot. It hits straight at the ball. Comes back to Rowe. Flicks the ball in. This time it's cleared by Stonehouse, and the ball will hopefully come out to MP, who beats Kavanagh to the ball there. Gets the ball back to Stonehouse, and Westwood chunts into and wins the ball back on that far-hand side. But Stonehouse comes back across, and it's out for a throw-in on that far-hand side. Bit of a waste of a free kick there, maybe.
Yeah, you'd hope he'd get it over the wall there, but I think he was trying to avoid getting it into the winds too much because it was blustering quite a bit. But a good block by Nathan Webb in the wall, standing strong.
Yeah, so it's a throw in for Bedworth on the far hand side, level with the Slough Town penalty area, thrown into Dubida, up against Stonehouse, does well to get the ball inside the penalty area. Hicks comes across for Slough, clears the ball, not the best of clearances, but it will fall nicely into the path of Warren Harris. Warren Harris can bring the ball forwards for Slough, crossing the halfway line. He's got Luke Rowe in front of him, trying to run past him. He's got Empire and then Putman on the far hand side. Putman's just had to stop his run there to get the ball back. He's up against Kavanagh, goes past Kavanagh as if he wasn't there. Good play by Putman into the penalty box, holds off another challenge, goes down there. He's looking for a penalty, but never in a million years. And Bedworth can bring the ball out with Marsden on that far hand side. Marsden looking for the run of Archer. Archer does well to hold the ball up. Good challenge though by Hollis, wins the ball. And Archer's complaining to the referee, thought he should have had a free kick. The referee's given a free kick against Archer. And Slough will have a free kick just inside their own half.
Yeah, it was a really good run by Putman there to take on two players. They just overran the ball a little bit and stretching in to get it, trying to claim he'd been pulled back, but he definitely wasn't. As well spotted by the referee.
Yeah, Slough take the free kick quickly. They flick it out to Fraser on this near-hand touchline. Crosses the halfway line for the Rebels. Plays the ball down to Empire. Empire does well to control the ball. He's got Haynes doing with him. Haynes does really well for some good little kicky ups there. Ball's with Rumbold. Rumbold down the line. Ball's just going to go out of play. It's come off Westwood, and Slough will have a throw in. The Slough fans may be in the stand next to us, not too impressed with the fact that maybe Haynes was holding on to Empire, but both holding on to each other, I think. Yeah,
a bit 50-50 there.
So Fraser will take this throw in for Slough, throws it to Warren Harris. Warren Harris closed down by two players, gives the ball out to Rumbold. It's somehow still in play. It's taken. The referee said that it had gone out of play. Rumbold took the throw. It's a foul throw, and it's going to be Bedworth that take the throw in now. And Luke Rowe just meandering over there just to take the throw on that far hand side. Our local neighbours Windsor, they're 1 goal down away to Chertsey. As the ball's thrown in, it's going to be cleared up towards Marsden, beaten to the ball by Webb, heads it into the path of Putman. Putman's got Stonehouse on the overlap up against Marsden and Kavanagh. Stonehouse puts the ball in. It's well cleared by Bryan, only as far as Stonehouse, who volleys it straight back in. Bryan gets a second chance, still doesn't get a good clearance on it. I think it's just Stonehouse and Bryan just playing football with each other here. Stonehouse tries to get the ball in. It's come off Marsden. Now we'll have a throw on the far hand side, literally by the T-bar. And Slough are going to send Guy Hollis over to take that one.
And Hitchin have equalised at home against Histon, 1-1.
So it's going to be a long throw by Hollis on that far hand side. Just Slough just sending Hicks forwards for this one. It's flicked on. It's well won by Haynes. Good header towards Dubidat. Dubidat trying to play the ball into the path of Marsden. Marsden will drill a long ball forwards to Archer, but Archer had no chance of controlling that one. It was about 6 foot in the air, and it rolls into the feet of Mark Scott in the Slough goal, who just rolls the ball forwards. He's looking to a long ball. That's just caught the wind, and it's come off the top of Marsden into the feet of Putman. Putman on the far hand side. He's got Kavanagh up against him. Trying to go past him, goes past Kavanagh well. He's going to try to get across him. Not the best of crosses, cleared by Brian. The ball clearance isn't the best. It's caught in the wind. Stonehouse wins it for Slough towards Webb. Comes off Parrott, and it'll be another throw for Slough on the far hand side. Putman's trying to take that one quickly for the Rebels, but we played 28 minutes here at Holloway's Park. It remains Slough Town 0, Bedworth 0, as Archer's just down in the centre circle for Bedworth, just going to receive some treatment.
I think as he was trying to control that awkward ball, he fell awkwardly. I think might have caught his ankle here.
Yeah,
but Slough put a couple of crosses in, but we haven't been able to beat the first man, so that'll be something looking to improve on later on.
Yeah, so the games that are on in our league at the moment is Cambridge versus Bideford. Chesham Sorrents, was that on in the end?
That's still on.
That's on. Then we've got Hitchin versus Histon, Kings Lynn versus Redditch, St Neots versus Hungerford. So not a great deal of Southern Premier League games for you to watch. Obviously, early in the season, Slough went up to Bedworth. Bedworth have played 33 games this season. They've got the luxury of a 3G pitch, which Slough will hopefully have for next season when they move into that new home. Slough lost that game 2-1 away to Bedworth. 2 early goals in the first 7 minutes really won the game for Bedworth, and we haven't seen those 2 goals early on in the game today. But Bedworth on a poor run of away fixtures, but their home games haven't been too bad. They've drawn against Leamington recently, and then last Saturday beat Weymouth, although Weymouth did miss a penalty, I believe. And Biggleswade as well. Yeah, it's
I've been told they beat Leamington 2-0. So that's a good result for them, but
so Archer's just gone off the pitch. Plays restarted. Ball towards Stonehouse for Slough. Up towards Webb. Webb just dinking the ball forwards to Putman. Putman as well to control the ball. Back towards Webb. Webb looking for an option. He goes past Westwood. Plays it into Putman again. Putman's got 3 players on him. The ball will break kindly for Marsden. Marsden could bring the ball out. Good challenge there by Empire. Wins the ball, but Rowe with the first touch. Then it comes to Webb. Out towards Stonehouse on the left-hand side. Stonehouse just dinking the ball in. It's flicked on by Barney. Oh, and the goalkeeper's... Hines has done well. He caught the ball as it hit the ground, and then it bobbled out, but he still had the ball, and he's thrown it out to Rowe. Rowe just looking for a ball forward, looking for the run of Dubidat. Ball's caught in the wind, and Hollis and Dubidat in a foot race. Hollis just comes over, does well to guide it out, and it's a goal kick to Slough Town, but Swains almost looked like he was going to spill that into the path of MP, but did well to grab it at the second attempt.
MP and Warrenhouse both right on top of him, but he did really well to keep it close to him and hold on to it. And Marsden has come back on the pitch, and he looks like he's testing out his left ankle.
Archer, it was. Not
Archer, sorry.
So Slough will have a goal kick, which Mark Scott will take here. And we're just waiting. Not many real goal mouth chances at the moment in this game. There's a long kick, well won there by Brian, but Hicks wins that first header. Flicked on by Webb. Westwood with an acrobatic overhead kick trying to find Dubidat. Dubidat now with an overhead kick trying to find the run of Archer. Mark Scott's come way out of his goal there to clear that ball. And it's a throw on the far hand side, which Marsden will take for Bedworth. He's just been told to go back a few yards. I can't see wrong. He's right in that position, and the referee's told him to go back a yard. So he's thrown it into Westwood. Westwood trying to find Dubidat. Dubidat up against Stonehouse. Dubidat well could control the ball. Just on the corner of the Slough penalty box. He's going to try and get a cross in. Does well to get the cross in. Cleared by Hicks. Only as far as Marsden. Marsden's in an offside position. And that is the end of that attack. And Marsden's looking at he's in the face of the linesman saying, how could I have been offside? But he was clearly stood and came back to get the ball. As usual, players don't really know the rules, do they?
No, well, sometimes linesmen don't either. So
I think that was a good decision by the linesman there. Scott takes the free kick for Slough. It's well won by Haynes. This time it's won by Stonehouse. It will come through to Hicks. Hicks just trying to dink that ball over the top. Barney, good flick on by Barney, but Rowe does well. Heads the ball back to the goalkeeper, Hines. And the floodlights have come on a little bit early, maybe. It's not that dark here over at Holloway's Park. It is a bit of a grey, cloudy day, but Hines looking for Creaney. Does well to hold the ball up in the air. It's come through though, won by Harris, then towards Rumbold. Rumbold's just flicked the ball, but he's had to turn. Hollis is going to have to go back to goalkeeper Scott. Scott just keeps his eye on the ball, clears the long ball down. Rowe flicks off the top of his head, and Haynes is in the foot race with Barney. Barney yet to get involved in the game. Haynes flicks the ball out to throw in for Slough. We haven't really seen much of Barney today, have we?
Oh, the wind really caught hold of that one as Rowe tried to head it forward, but ended up going backwards about 10, 15 yards.
Ball's with Barney now. He's just lost the ball to Creaney, but Fraser does well to win the ball back for Slough. Plays it into the box to MP. MP trying to release Fraser. Fraser's just on the byline, trying to flick the ball in, gets a cross in. It's a good header there by Marsden that comes through to Westwood, who clears only as far as Webb though. Webb just trying to bring the ball out, does well to get it to Fraser. He's just caught there, and the referee
has given that free
has
kick
given
for
a
Slough.
free kick rather than playing the advantage. Webb just got caught as he played the ball there, and it's a free kick to Slough just on the edge of the 5 yards away from the penalty area, and the referee's just having a word with Creaney as for the foul there, but Slough will have a free kick. In the league, St Neots 0, Hungerford 2 now is the latest score in that game. And Slough will have a free kick. It looks like Putman will be standing over this one. So the referee just marks out 10 yards. Stonehouse is over it for Slough as well.
This is almost in line of the right-hand edge of the box.
So Putman and Stonehouse standing over this free kick for Slough. Literally 25 yards away from goals. Putman is going to take it, hits it straight at the wall, and then has another chance. It's cleared this time, and it's come through to Fraser on the halfway line, chased down by Dubidat. Fraser does well to get the ball in, cleared by Parrott. Comes through to Marsden, beaten to the ball by Webb. Rumbold flicking the ball on. This time Bryan with the clearance for Bedworth, and then Fraser just gets caught there by in no man's land as Dubidat trying to release Archer on that far hand side. Guy Hollis with some very good defending from the Slough number 4, takes it off the foot of Archer as Scott was coming out. Good play there by Guy Hollis, and defence is on top at the moment.
Yeah, neither team are really getting too many shots away. Only really that Stonehouse shot from about 30 yards out. And
Hitchin's poor run of form seems to be continuing. It's Hitchin 1, Histon 2. As the ball's flicked on, Empire's in the foot chase here with Haynes. Empire does well. He's got Barney in the middle of the box. He's just waiting for someone else to come through. Putman's that person that breaks in on the edge of the penalty, shoots it across goal. It's cleared by Bedworth, and then Westwood will clear again up towards Marsden. Marsden does well to control the ball, but gives it away to Webb just inside the Bedworth half. Flicks it on. Cleared by Kavanagh, only as far as Stonehouse. Good touch by Stonehouse. Turns, got Westwood on him. Plays it to Hollis. Hollis just inside his own half by the centre circle, trying to flick the ball on for the run of Warren Harris. But good defending by Luke Rowe, and it's out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Hollis has done really well so far. He's shown he's got a fair bit of pace, as Archer and Dubitat have tried to catch Slough in behind, but Hollis alert to the danger and getting there quickly.
Yeah, 35 minutes gone so far. It's 0-0. And while it's a little break in play while we wait for Hines to take this, we've got a little bit of a football quiz for you. So if you are out there listening, in 1979 it was Sunderland. In 1981 it was Villa. Who was it in... did I say 1980? Yeah, and then who was it in 1980? So we'll give you that answer in a minute. So it was Sunderland in 79, Villa in 81. Who was it in 1980? We'll give you the answer to that quiz in a minute. There's nothing going on in the game. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. Fraser's got the ball in front of us in his hands. Just going to take the throw in. Up towards Empires. Well won by Creaney. That does well to come through, but challenged by Fraser. Fraser does well to win the ball. It's now with Empire. Empire can turn. Just trying to dink the ball over into the path of Warren Harris, and Haynes comes over. It's out, and it's going to be a throw-in for Slough, right by the corner flag. And again, Hollis immediately sent forwards for the Rebels.
Oh, the answer to the quiz isn't
no, you can't
me.
answer it.
It's not me, because I wasn't even born.
Well, that's no good, is it? Doesn't make no difference. Our fellow guest in the commentary box here from Bedworth's got the answer right. We'll keep you hanging on, because I'm sure it's the highlight of your day. Just waiting for the throw to come in from Hollis. Again, long throw aimed forwards. Hicks with a free header for Slough. The ball's in the box. It's cleared well. Then it's Rowe just drills the ball. It's kept in by Hicks somehow. Hicks gives the ball back to Hollis. Hollis with the cross. This time Creaney with the header. Only as far as Dubidat. Dubidat digs. He's got the ball. It's a bit scrappy here. Westwood's got the ball, and there's a bit of there seems to be a foul on Dan Hicks there, but the referee's played on. The ball's with Putman on the far hand side, on the edge of the penalty area, trying to go past Kavanagh. Kavanagh does well, but his ball's dinked in. Cleared away by Bryan as we're to Westwood on the edge of the area. Clears it. Oh, and then Webb makes a mistake. Ball's with Archer. He's just on the halfway line, but Webb's at him again. Well, Webb does really well to win the ball back. And he's just got kicked there, surely, but the ball's with Bedworth. It's come through to Westwood, just in the centre circle, trying to release Creaney on this near-hand side. Creaney's got Rowe on the overlap. Slough just got to get over on this left-hand side. Creaney's got the ball. He's going to cross the ball in. It's a good cross. Hollis again with the header. As far as Marsden. Marsden volleys. And volleys over the top of the bar. And out for a goal kick.
That's a good counter-attack there by Bedworth, showing that they still are in this game. They can still score. As Slough side put one or two good crosses in, but unfortunately it's coming from our centre-backs rather than our wingers. But both teams getting chances now.
Yeah, and Putman's seeing a lot of ball on that left-hand side. Kavanagh's not having the best of days. I think Putman's just got past him a couple of times, but Kavanagh did well on that last attack. Scott with a long kick, catches in the wind. It's well won by Haynes, but the ball, he can't get any distance on it. The ball catches in the air. It's with Marsden. Marsden to Creaney. Creaney out towards Rowe. Rowe just flicking the ball forwards, looking for the run of Westwood, but Stonehouse will get there first for Slough. Dinking the ball. Oh, and Barney just trying to run past Bryan there, slips over, and the ball rolls into the feet of the Bedworth goalkeeper, Denham Hines, and it remains after 39 minutes here at Holloway's Park 0-0. Cirencester away to Cheshire, and that's 0-0 at the moment. As Hines just has the ball in his hands, just waiting maybe for the wind to drop, kicks it long. It catches in the air big time, and Rowe first for the header, but he can only header it backwards. Then Bryan with the first header comes to Warren Harris, flicks it on with his thigh. Cleared this time by Westwood. Parrott's underneath the ball for Bedworth, does really well to control it, trying to play it into the path of Archer, but that man Hollis again comes over. Good defending, and it's a throw in for Bedworth on this left hand side. Creaney will leave it for Rowe, and just waiting for Rowe to get to the ball. So Rowe with this throw in for Bedworth. He's trying to aim for Creaney. Creaney up against two players, does well to win the ball, but Warren Harris wins the ball off him. Good play by Warren Harris, hits it straight at Parrott and out for a throw in. And we're not really seeing the goalkeepers tested today, have we, so far in these first 40 minutes?
There's only that one shot from Stonehouse which sent Hines scrambling across and making that save. Other than that, it's been
fairly
just
easy.
Other than maybe sweep a keeper, but
it's a long throw, flicked on by Mpe towards Barney. Barney trying to flick the ball on for Warren Harris, but Bryan will come over for Bedworth. He's always just trying to play a little bit of football just near his own corner flag here, and he's given the ball away, and it's a throw in to Slough. So Bryan's put his team in a little bit of trouble there. Sean Fraser's taking it about 20 yards away from where it's going to be, so he's going to leave it for Hollis. Hollis will go straight down to literally where the corner flag is and put another long throw here again. Last time Hicks was totally unmarked. Will he have the same again? It's thrown in, catches in the wind. Hicks does win it. It's a bit of balance in there on the back of Haynes, and it's brought forward by Kavanagh. Gives it to Marsden, beaten to the ball, and apparently there's a free kick there by Webb.
The referee saying he caught him late.
I'm not sure whether this referee's actually refereed a proper game before. There was nothing wrong in that challenge whatsoever, and he's given a free kick to Bedworth. But there you go, Mr. Creswick's decision, and we abide by his decision. Whether it's right or wrong makes no difference. And Hines will take this free kick halfway inside the Bedworth half, and not really a great deal to commentate on, really, is there?
Other than the wind, that's about it.
Have you had beans again? Have you?
Maybe.
So just waiting for Hines to get the game restarted with a free kick again, aiming towards it again. It catches in the wind. Double does well first to the ball, and then Parrott's beaten to the ball by Stonehouse, but Parrott's got the ball back just on that byline. He's up against Stonehouse, trying to nudge it past him. Stonehouse does well to tackle. It's out for a corner on that far hand side. And Slough just again, Bedworth haven't sent forwards Haynes, who's been quite dominant at the back, but they have sent forward his central defensive partner Richard Bryan, so he's gone forwards. And Rowe's just going over there just to pull. He's actually going to go and take the corner. I think Marsden was planning on taking that one. So it'll be an in-swinging corner for Bedworth on the far hand side. Rowe with this corner, just signalling his intentions, puts the ball in. It's a good one. It's well won by Rumbold. It'll break through to Webb. Webb up against Westwood. Webb does well, plays it into the path of Rumbold. Rumbold can bring the ball forwards for Slough. Crosses the halfway line, trying to find Putman on that far hand side. Putman wins the ball. Does well to skip one challenge, but the ball just runs away from him, and Haynes can clear, but only as far as Hollis. Hollis can give it to Harris. Harris has got acres of space here to run into now. Poor cross by Warren Harris. Didn't really look up to see what the option was. Ball's played out to Parrott. Parrott's trying to cut back, does well. Plays it inside to Dubidat, who's come a little bit deeper for the ball. Looking for the ball over the top for the run of Archer, and Archer's given in chase. Still got Hicks with him, but does well to keep the ball in on that far hand side. Back to Marsden. Marsden totally unmarked. Chance to put a cross in. He's got 2 men at the back post. Ball's just caught a little bit. Dubidat will keep it in for Bedworth. Up against Warren Harris. He's going to cut back, and then you can guess who it was that came over with the challenge. Guy Hollis again. He's done so well. Not only has he won the ball, he's actually played it off the Bedworth player and out for a Slough throw. And that just kind of sums up the game, really, doesn't it? When you think that the two mostly best players on the pitch at the moment seem to be Haynes and Hollis, the two centre-backs for the teams. Just waiting for a throw to come in. 43 minutes gone as Webb wins the ball for Slough. He's going to do well to keep that winning. Keeps it and plays it down the line. Looking for the run of Barney. Barney in a foot chase with Haynes. Barney first to the ball. He's just running down the right-hand side. He's kept the ball in well. He's just looking for someone to give him an option. Warren Harris is on the overlap. Keeps the ball just on the edge. Gives it to Fraser. Fraser just looking for someone. Just hits it straight at Parrott and out for a throw-in. And Slough's crossing today has been pretty poor, really.
Oh, yeah. We haven't been able to beat the first man many times. And not giving MP and Barney much to go for. No, so it's a throw by Fraser. He's just again looking for someone to make a run for him. Webb makes that run for him. Gets the ball back to Fraser. Fraser's closed down by Dubidat. And it's Slough seeming to think that it came off Dubidat, and the referee and linesman say no, it didn't. And you can there's a picture still of the just posted a few minutes ago, the Merthyr pitch, which is still caked in water. Bearing in mind it's 3G, it's supposed to just roll off and not have postponed games, but you see the picture on Twitter. It's still caked in water, even 40 odd minutes after. There's a picture of someone. I think it's Ryan Prosser. But there's no football. Don't worry about the football going on. Ryan Prosser doing a Klinsmann in one of the biggest puddles you'll ever see on an artificial pitch. Hines with a kick. It's gone through to Creaney. Creaney does well to keep the ball in. Looking for Archer. It's come off Archer, and it will be a throw in to Slough. Hollis with the long throw. Rowe with an acrobatic king. That one's out of the ground, and Slough will have a throw in. And Hollis seems to be the only person who's on the pitch at the moment. He's clearing the ball. He's going to run across here now to take the throw in. As we're literally on 45 minutes here, just waiting for the referee to add on. As Hollis puts this long throw in. It's well won by Haynes, only as far as Marsden though, with the clearance towards Kavanagh. Kavanagh just playing the ball forwards to Marsden. He's got Rumbold running down on him. Plays the ball forwards to Archer. Heavy touch by Archer, and Rumbold will pick that ball up for Slough. Runs straight into Parrott though, but Webb brings the ball back for Slough. Gives it to Stonehouse. Hicks it was, sorry, but it changed. Stonehouse gives the ball away. It's a bit niggly-piggly. Barney wins it for Slough. Back towards Hicks. Hicks now trying to play the ball forwards again, straight at another player. This time Stonehouse, bit of class, plays it into Rumbold. Rumbold trying to look for the ball. Barney does well to chest it down, but Hero with the clearance. And this game is getting very bitty here at the moment. Ball's flicked out for Westwood on the far hand side. Does well to play the ball down the line. Archer in a foot race with Hicks. Hicks slides across, and it's out for a throw in on that far hand side. And not a lot to commentate on at the moment. We're literally waiting for the referee, Mr. Creswick, to blow his whistle for the half time here. It's a throw in on the far hand side. It's very much pinball at the moment. It's backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
Marsden with the throw, takes it quickly to Westwood. Back towards Marsden, does well to chest the ball, keeps it in play, beats Webb. Gets the ball back from Westwood, but gives the ball away to Putman. Putman towards Webb. Webb will just release Rumbold. Rumbold can bring the ball forwards for Slough, just inside his own half. Plays it into the path of Warren Harris. Warren Harris up against Luke Rowe. Warren Harris lets the ball run. Trying to run at Luke Rowe here. He's still got the ball on this near hand side. He's got two players up against him. Gets the cross in, not the best, but it's come towards Barney. Just about 7 or 8 yards away. Back towards Warren Harris. Good foot there by Bedworth, but Warren Harris wins the ball back towards Putman. Putman's just got no one to look. Dinks the ball over. And it's caught in the wind. Rowe will clear. Only as far as Dubidat. Dubidat does well. Treads on the ball though. Still got the ball up against Fraser. Trying to drag Fraser in. Lovely little step overs. Dubidat does really well. Trying to dink the ball over for Archer, who is miles offside.
I think it's about a yard. So it was not quite that far, but it was just offside.
It's offside. Slough take it quickly with Hollis. Hollis towards Hicks. Hicks just bringing the ball forward. Closed down by Westford, and that is actually the half-time whistle. So not a great deal of goalmouth action here today so far at Holloway's Park. At half-time, it's 0-0, and we'll put you out of your misery for the footballing quiz. Have you got an answer, Will?
Well, I've looked at the answers.
I know you cheated, but that's not the point. So in 1979 it was Sunderland. In 1981 it was Villa. Who was it in 1980? The answer is Trevor Brooking. If you'd have watched Midsummer Murders last week, you would have known that, because it was a quiz question on that. And the reason being is the scorer of the winning goal in the FA Cup final in 1979 was Alan Sunderland. In 1981 it was Ricky Villa, and therefore Trevor Brooking in 1980.
Yeah, I'll believe you.
I know you believe me. You should do. I'm an honest man, although you wouldn't believe it. So it's half time here, and we'll just go through some of the scores. And we've got playing at Redditch at King's Lynn. That's 0-0. Histon are winning 2-1 away to Hitchin. Chesham Cirencesters 0-0 at the moment. And I can't remember who's St Neots Hungerford. Last we heard
2-0 to Hungerford.
2-0. And Potters Bar are beating our landlords Beaconsfield 1-0 through to a penalty. And we'll just bring you some details of some up and coming games. Our next game is away to Dorchester. That will be a week today, weather permitting, obviously. I know the South Coasters had a little bit of rain with some of the local sides around there having the games called off. Hopefully we'll be there. We should be there if the game's on, and that will be from 2:50 as usual. And then straight after that, on the Tuesday, we are... So not this Tuesday, the Tuesday after...
The 16th.
The 16th, thank you for your calendar knowledge. The 16th of February. So after you've treated your lovely partner out for Valentine's Day, what better way to do? If you do that, you can buy your missus some flowers or buy her some chocolates, and then you can turn around and go, Tuesday night, love, I'm off to Cirencester. Sure, see, you've got to butter them up. That's how it goes. And Tuesday night we are away to Cirencester as the Slough Motley crew just walk past. They're all getting ready for that second half. So half time, what we normally do is on this day. Have you got any on this day facts?
Got a couple, yep.
Don't if you've got 1958, don't do 1958.
All right, I'll leave that for you.
Thank you.
Have you got the names?
You go for it. You
right.
No, don't read anything about 1958.
Avoiding 1958 then.
Go for that then.
On this day, on any day other than that day, on 1918, women over the age of 30 were given the right to vote. Controversially. I won't say too much more than that. In 1952, Queen Elizabeth II started her reign, and she's still currently on the throne to this day.
Must have had a good curry.
Wow.
Go for your next one. Come on, don't keep these people entertained at half time. Come on.
And in 1988, Michael Jordan dunks from the free throw line, and that became the logo for the Air Jordan. So it's a very famous dunk from him. You got anything else?
Oh, is that you done?
I haven't gone through the birthdays yet.
Okay, in 1778, France recognised the USA as it signed the Treaty of Alliance and Commerce in Paris. In 1932, everyone's waiting for this fact. 1932, Winter Olympics there was 2 Winter Olympics opened. 1932, they let dog sled racing into the Winter Olympics.
Should bring it back.
You've got to bring it back. It's got to be better than watching someone ski down a mountain doing zigzags. Bring some dog sled racing in. That's what I say. And then I've got famous birthdays. I've got Ronald Reagan. Do you know what his middle name was?
No, I should know because I've written his name down.
You didn't put his middle name in.
Was it George?
His middle name was Wilson.
Wilson. Close.
Bob Marley from Bob Marley and the Wailers. He was born today in 1945. Axl Rose.
Yeah, we had plenty of Guns N' Roses playing earlier today as well.
Axl Rose, where's he been?
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I know. I saw them live actually. They were good. And then obviously the greatest ever singer. It's his birthday today. The one and only Rick Astley. He'll never give you up. He'll never let you down. He'll never run around and desert you. Rick Astley, happy birthday. I know you're listening. You must be on that Heart Radio or whatever he's on. Get off that, mate. Just listen to us. It's a lot easier. So what have we got left?
We got. Well, there's another birthday.
You go for that. Go for another birthday.
1895. George Herman Ruth, better known as Babe Ruth, one of the best baseball players ever.
He was the first player ever to hit 60 home runs in one season.
Yep.
I've got Christopher Marlowe. I think he was a writer. It wasn't the bloke that lived down the road or anything like that. It's Christopher Marlowe, 1564 he was born. But 1958. And 1958, February the 6th, if you're a football fan, you will know exactly what it was. 58 years ago today was the Munich air disaster. If you don't know much about it, the Man United were on a flight back from a European game in Yugoslavia. They had previously been to Prague in the previous round, and they had some problems with travel, so they decided to get a charter plane on the way back. And it was a flight that had to stop at Munich to refuel. That was the only reason they stopped at Munich. And they had 3 attempts of taking off. The first 2, because of the icy conditions, it was snowing, the runway was very icy, they couldn't get enough power. They decided to go for a third effort, and Duncan Edwards, who was one of the players, had actually sent a telegram to his landlady at the time saying all flights cancelled, travel back tomorrow. And they decided that they'd go for one more third effort. And unfortunately the slush on the runway, they couldn't get enough power, and the plane carrying 44 people crashed into a house on the right wing, caught that, then crashed into a wooden shed which contained fuel and caught fire. Many people, there was 44 people, there was 38 passengers and 6 crew. At the scene 21 died. In the end it was actually 23 people that died. 8 journalists died, 8 Man United players died. There was 3 of the staff from Man United died, and a couple of other passengers were on there as well. And because obviously it was before your time, it was before my time, but when you actually research it and you realise the age of the players and what they'd achieved at such a young age, you kind of realise that, you know, these players had a heck of a future in front of them, and it was taken away very, very early. And it was a British European Airways flight, and it was an Airspeed AS-57 Ambassador, and this plane had never actually crashed before in its entire history. And the team, generally known as Busby Babes, contained 8 players that died. And the people that died on that day, just to give you a run through of these players and what they achieved. Jeff Bent was a fullback. He was aged 25. Roger Byrne was captain of the Man United team. People who had seen him at that time said that he was one of the best ever captains that Manchester United ever had at a young age. He was a fullback. He died at 28. He'd won 33 England caps, and during his time he'd actually played 30 consecutive games for England, which at that time was a record. No one had ever played consecutive games. Eddie Coleman was a wing half. He was 21. He scored in the first leg of that fateful quarter-final away at Red Star Belgrade. Mark Jones was a centre-half. He was 24. David Pegg was an outside left. He was 22. At the age of 22, he'd played 127 games for Manchester United, scoring 24 goals. Tommy Taylor was a centre-forward. He was 26. He'd made 19 England caps, scored 16 England goals in just those 19 games, had a great future in front of him. Liam Billy Whelan, as he was known, was an inside forward. He was 22. He'd made 79 appearances for Manchester United and scored 43 goals. He'd also been capped by the Republic of Ireland 4 times. And then those 7 players died at the scene. And the 8th person to die was Duncan Edwards, who people always talk about, and for us we never obviously got to see him play, but just to give you, Duncan Edwards died 15 days later in hospital in Munich. He'd had an artificial lung transplanted that didn't work, and he transformed, he deteriorated rapidly. There was never any hope of him playing again, but they did expect him to survive. And he'd played at the age of 21. He was a left half. He'd made 151 appearances for Manchester United at the age of 21. He'd scored 20 goals. He'd also made, at the age of 21, 18 England appearances and scoring 5 goals. And when you kind of like research, I was sat at home researching that, and it brought a tear to my eye that these people had so much of a future in front of them, and it was taken drastically away. And just a little note on Duncan Edwards. Duncan Edwards was actually a very good Morris dancer, and this isn't an actual joke, but he had a choice one day. He had a choice of either appearing for the England Schools Football Association under-14s or he was actually chosen for the squad for the National Morris and Sword Dancing Festival. He chose football, which I think was
probably best choice.
Was a good choice for his future there, but obviously, unfortunately, died 15 days after the event. And just if anyone, I know people wouldn't be listening, but I think you've got to send your condolences out to the families of those people, not just the players, but there was 8 journalists and the other people that died. Because if that happened to a football club in this day now, the pouring of sympathy for people would be absolutely huge. And I think you have to realise that at that time Man United were a very big team.
Yeah, one of the players who did survive was Bobby Charlton. That tells you just how good the team was. And players like that in there.
And so just to all those who lost their lives in the Munich air disaster, our condolences. And we will be back for the second half in a couple of minutes.
Coach on the way down the night, it was like a sauna. We got on literally down to the shirt within minutes. Then they're all screaming for the air conditioning on, and then everybody's reaching for the suit jackets to get it put on. So this, we've got all the old boys sit at the front, and literally, the coach could be on fire and everybody wouldn't notice.
So did the fans and players come down on
one or two fans come on the coach. There was about, one of the players' dads came on the coach, or 2 players' dads, and then there's about the secretary, me, one director, his grandson, and then the kit men, and there's probably looking around, there's probably another, well, not very many, 3 or 4 maybe. So we used to take 50 or 60 away every week.
I did have a complaint when I went to your friends. You didn't do packets of peas in the thing. No. Used to. I went down there and said, you've got a new menu now. I'm gutted.
I'm not surprised.
It was the only place that packets and peas. It's such a change to what
I'll have a word. Surprised they don't. Quite a few of the other fans used to have that. Yeah, I really don't know what's happened to the away following, to be honest. I think it's just the travelling, isn't it? This isn't too far, this is only just over an hour, but for us, being where we are, Dorchester, Bournemouth, Weymouth, Merthyr, Kings Lynn, they're not going to go in their own car, they're going to come on the coach, so they're going to get there 2 hours before the game usually. So you're looking at 3.5 hour journeys, and the same coming back. So you're leaving the house at 8 in the morning, get back at 10 at night.
That's what happened last week, because we were away to Bedworth, and I just loaded all the radio equipment in the car to come over to Slough to catch the coach, and I got a text saying it was called off.
So you got to go down there in midweek?
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. You see, this is the problem at this level. You can't expect.
They should have on this level. At our level, they should have 4 leagues and not 3.
Well, when I first started covering non-league football 21 years ago, this league would have been, this level, step 3, was the old Midland division, and the furthest we went was Bury St Edmunds. But all the other games for us were rugby, teams like Bilston, Dudley, Starbridge, Halesowen, teams like that.
Coalfield area, that kind of
thing.
Suffolk
Coalfield, obviously. Teams like some teams that are gone now, Leicester United, Patrick Rangers, teams like that. But if you then got promoted into the Premier, then you were virtually a full-time club. But it's really, the Premier Division now is effectively the Midland Division, really, but spread further and wider. They need to split it in half, really.
Just be grateful that you didn't have to go down to Truro.
Well, we're going north next year, whether we stay up or not, we've already been told. We've had that.
I was like, if we have a crisis conference
So good afternoon everyone, back for the second half here at Holloway's Park. We'll bring you the two teams are out on the pitch at the moment, and we've all made your half-time cup of tea. Just run through the teams with you. There's no changes at the moment. So for Bedworth in goal, Denham Hines. 2 is Daniel Kavanagh. 3, Luke Rowe. 4, Andrew Westwood. 5 and captain is Nathan Haynes. 6 is Richard Bryan. 7 is Justin Marston. 8, Elliot Parrott. 9, Jordan Archer. 10, Daniel Dibbitt. 11 is Daniel Creaney. Substitutes for Bedworth: 12, Easton Christie. 14, Arno Wint. 15 is Harry Walker Donovan. 16 is Rudy Misambo. For the Rebels, Mark Scott in goal. Sean Fraser, who already got a yellow card. He's 2, 3, Paul Stonehouse. 4, Guy Hollis. 5, Dan Hicks. 6, and captain Lee Rumbold. Lewis Putman. 7, 8, Nathan Webb. Charlie MP. 9, 10 is Lee Barney. 11, Warren Harris. And substitutes for Slough, Jai Dillon. 12, 14, Gherkin Gottman. 15, Ryan Hope. And 16, Ed Smith. Mr. Creswick is just making sure that everyone is back in position. They've got 11 players on the pitch, and the second half starts. Slough have the kick-off and play it out towards Stonehouse. They'll be against the wind for this second half. It's just dying down a little bit. Ball's played forward. Kavanagh just gets to the ball, but it's come through to MP. MP trying to knock past Brian, but Slough calling for a penalty there for a handball on Hines, but no chance. Marston does well to keep the ball in, but he's giving it away to Stonehouse. Stonehouse can run now at Kavanagh. Plays it out to Putman. Putman just can't control that one. It's out for a throw in. So warm welcome back for the second half. Will, what do you think that Slough have to do to get 3 points here today, apart from score? Don't say that because that's simple.
We need to keep the ball on the ground. So we showed in the first half the wind will affect the ball, so we need to try and make sure we don't get caught out by that. Hopefully also make sure we don't get caught out going backwards when Bedworth play the ball forwards. Yeah,
the wind has just died down a little bit. Just a bit of pulling there between Lee Rumbold, but the ball's with Nathan Webb. Plays it out, just hits it a little bit too far in front of both Empire and Putman on that far hand side. It's out for Bedworth throw, and the wind is just dying down a little bit here at Holloway's Park, which will be in the favour of the Rebels, as we're just waiting for the throw in to come from Brian. It's flicked on by Rumbold. It's cleared by Westwood. It comes only through to as far as Stonehouse. He misses the ball. Comes through to Dibbitt. Dibbitt just hits that one ball high up into the air. Hicks is underneath it for Slough. Heads it towards the outside. And Stonehouse gets a foot to it. Ball's with Putman, but challenged well by Parrott. Gives it to Kavanagh, who plays it down the line for Archer. Archer does well to win the flick on. Dibbitt challenging Stonehouse, and Slough clear the ball with Hicks. And a long high clearance just on the right for Warren Harris. Does well to win it with his head. Lee Barney comes into his own half to control the ball. Plays it back to Fraser. Fraser with a touch. Plays it out to Warren Harris just by the home dugout. Inside his own half. Plays the ball down the line. It's just trying to run through to Empire, but well spotted there by Parrott, who does well to come across and clear. It's ball's out for a throw in on that far hand side. And Fraser takes it quickly towards Rumble. Back to Fraser. Cross to Webb. Webb beaten to the ball well by Dubbidat. Dubbidat trying to release Archer. Archer does well. He's got the ball in his feet. Good challenge here with Guy Hollis. He shoots. Good save there by Mark Scott. And then Hollis comes across. Archer's first to the ball again for Bedworth. Flicks it off Paul Stonehouse, and it's out for a throw in. And Jordan Archer there on his own, almost trying to win the game. Taken quickly by Bedworth towards Parrott. Parrott turns inside. Back towards Westwood. Westwood dinking the ball over towards Cameron. Does well to keep it in though. Heavy touch. Does well to go past Putman, but plays the ball across. Warren Harris first to the ball. It will come through to Brian. Brian just another high ball up in the air. Hicks is underneath it for Slough. Only as far as Westwood for Bedworth. And then back to Hicks. It's MP flicking the ball on into the path of Warren Harris. Good touch by Warren Harris. Gets the ball down. He's just run straight into Luke Rowe there, and it's a throw-in, but I can't actually see how that was any different to the challenge that Sean Fraser got booked for, to be honest.
It's actually a free kick.
And the wind just picked up there, and there you go. And Luke Rowe's just having a chat to the referee. It says on our thing that Nathan Haynes is captain, but Luke Rowe does seem to have an armband on, but we'll see. So, it's a free kick to Slough, so Fraser takes it quickly towards Barney. Barney does well to get the ball, but cleared well by Parrott, and it's offside.
Going back to that Archer opportunity earlier, probably the first real chance either team has had in this game, and Archer did really well to hold off the challenge from Guy Hollis, and then Mark Scott seemed to have possibly an easier save than Archer would have hoped he would have had. But well saved, and still 0-0 here.
Yep, so Hines will get the game back underway with a free kick for Bedworth just on his 18-yard line, as the sirens behind us obviously not coming to arrest the referee for some poor decision making, just running down to the M40 as Hines takes a long kick. Fraser does well to win that first header. Kavanagh heads the ball forwards looking for Marsden. Over the head of Putman. Stonehouse with the first touch, but Kavanagh will just control the ball. Does well to go past Putman. Still got the ball, plays it up towards Dabida. Dabida into the path of Marsden. Marsden does well to control. Flicking the ball in early, trying to get the ball over to Creaney. Creaney up against Fraser, just dinking the ball over. Catches in the wind, but Mark Scott safely underneath that on his goal line and gathers. And that's the attack over, and he rolls the ball out to Fraser. So maybe that's Slough's decision is to not kick the ball long. Fraser with the ball forward, flicks into path of Empire. Empire trying to get it into the path of Barney. Barney will get the ball back. He gives it to Warren Harris on that far hand side. Warren Harris can run at the defence. He's just trying to go down the byline. He's got Rowe with him. Gets across in low. Comes to MP. MP turns it in, and Charlie MP scores on his 50th appearance for the Rebels. In the 50th minute, good play there by Warren Harris on the far hand side. He put in a low cross that skimmed across the ground. MP with his back to goal just chipped the ball up and then turned and volleyed low past the despairing dive of Denham Hines. Good goal there for the Rebels, and 1-0.
Yeah, it was a fantastic finish in the end. I'm not sure if he meant to chip the ball up or it's just an accidental bad control, but he did really well to improvise and get his foot high up and control it. Shot low into the ground, keep absolutely no chance, and 1-0 to Slough.
And so Charlie Empire had gone 6 games without scoring before that, and he's got a goal on his 50th appearance for the Rebels. That's 14 for the season now for Charlie, and good for him. He's just going off to Dubai in after the Cirencester game, or Dorchester. I think it's Dorchester game, isn't it? He's going on the 16th. I think Dorchester's his last game for the Rebels, so he's trying to sign off in style with a goal there. There's nothing going on in the game. It's just a free kick on the far hand side there for a foul, and Hines in the Bedworth goal will go and take this one just outside his own penalty box. Again, long kick, he catches in the wind there, and it's come through. Good challenge there by Guy Hollis as Archer was just trying to bring the ball out, but poor ball out by him, only as far as Marsden. Marsden to Creaney. Creaney's on the edge of the area. He's going to just try and cross the ball in. It's free at Archer, and Archer's equalised a minute afterwards. Bedworth back in the game. It's 1-1. The first half was goalless. The first 2 minutes of this second half got 2 goals already. Slough defending poorly. Good ball across by Creaney, and Archer just heads the ball down past Scott in goal, and it's 1-1, and that lead didn't last very long, did it?
No, not at all. And Bedworth doing something Slough couldn't manage in the first half, and that's put a good cross into the box. Archer found himself completely free. A simple header just to beat Mark Scott. 1-1.
So Slough with the kick-off. The ball's with Rumbold. He's just running across the centre circle. Back towards Fraser. Back towards Webb. Up towards Putman. Putman just playing in the centre. Just come off his line a bit there. Just let the ball go there. He's trying to win the ball back. The ball will come across to Marsden. Marsden's pressurised by Stonehouse. Trying to dink it over him. Does really well. Plays the ball down. Plays it along the ground looking for Archer, who's done really well but can't control that one. Fraser will bring the ball out for Warren Harris. Harris is now running alongside Creaney, trying to get back for Bedworth. Rowe comes across. When Harris goes past him, still got the ball. 2 challenges missed. He's got the ball on the far hand side. Crosses in, and a good header there by Haynes, and it's out for a corner. And suddenly this game may have been very boring in the first half, but it's come to light here for the second half.
Yeah, both teams playing on the ground, not letting the wind take control of the game. Putting a couple of passes together, a couple of runs, going past people, and some good play. And Haynes did really well to win the header in front of MP there.
Yeah, so it's a corner on the far hand side that Lewis Putman will take. It will be an in-swinging corner for the Rebels. And Putman just dinks his switch, crosses it in. It's gone all the way in. It's cut down. Webb follows it in. Rumbold with a header aiming towards the far post, but Hines comes across and safely goes out and looks to try and get the attack going quickly. It's a lovely long kick on that bounce all the way through to Mark Scott, who just gets it as Marsden was just trying to get a foot to it. Good goalkeeping there, but good thinking by Hines in the Bedworth goal. So now on the attack with Fraser. Haynes wins that first header. Comes through though to Rumbold. Rumbold running at the fence goal. Oh, and Haynes just does well. Bits of foot there, hits it. I think
MP caught Haynes
just
late
caught
there.
Haynes a little bit there. I thought he'd given it for a foul because Haynes had drilled the ball out. It hit Luke Frowe in the face and he went down. And Charlie Empire just caught him a little bit there as he stretched for the ball. And it'll be a free kick to Bedworth. And surprisingly, that's not a yellow card. But again, the challenge by Sean Fraser on Archer in the first half was a yellow card. So there we go. So golden goal time is given as the 50th minute. Equaliser was the 51st.
Attendance of 247, I think I heard.
So it's 1-1 here now at Holloway's Park. We're just waiting for Hines to get the game restarted. Haynes is still on the pitch. He hasn't had any treatment. Long kick forwards again. Hollis first to the ball for Slough. Then flicked on. And Parrott is adjudged to have fouled Rumbold, and Slough will have a free kick. They're just going to take their time a little bit here. And I was going to say, this linesman on this near end, so I was nowhere near the play there. But it's going to be a free kick to Slough, which Mark Scott will take. And Scott's just signalling where he wants the players to go. Slough just trying to stretch the play a little bit here, just not putting everyone on one side. Just waiting for Mark Scott to get this game restarted. As he does, kicks it long. It's good long clearance, and it's gone all the way through to Kavanagh. And Putman maybe didn't expect that ball to travel that far against the wind, but it's been kicked out, and Slough will have a throw in on this near hand side. Stonehouse has got the ball. He's going to take the throw in for the Rebels. I just can't see where he's got his. Where's he gone? He's still there. He's still got the ball in his hand. I can see it now. Plays the ball in, looking for the run of Rumbold. Rumbold bursts into the penalty box. He's got a chance. He double. He's one. Goes past another challenge. Does really well. Oh, and he toe pokes it. And Hines does well to keep his position there. Gathers the ball. Good run there by Lee Rumbold. And Hines again, just looking long, kick high in the air. Archer's not trying to get underneath it, but Hollis again first to the ball. It will come through to Fraser. Heavy touch by him, only as far as Harris. Harris does well to dodge one challenge there, trying to get past another. Westwood with the first challenge, he's flicked it over, but Stonehouse with the clearance for Slough, only as far as Parrott. Heavy touch there, it's come off Stonehouse, and it'll be a throw in to Bedworth on this near hand side. Marsden looks like he's going to take it, trying to find Dubberdutt. I think that Hicks was giving him a cuddle is the politest way to say that.
And then Dubberdutt
he's
fell
still,
to the
he
floor.
hasn't taken this throw in yet. Takes a weak throw. Hicks with the first header. Putman trying to keep it in, but it's out of play for another throw. So Bedworth have gained 5 yards with that throw in. And it looks like Marsden will take it again. This time they're level with the Slough Town penalty area. And Marsden just trying to see if there was any run. Stonehouse with that first header, only as far as Parrott. Parrott shoots but skies it. It's come through to Parrott's on the floor, and it's come through to Stonehouse. And
He's given a handball against Nathan Webb, I think.
He's
the ball bounced up and hit him, but I'm not sure if it actually did hit him on hands or not. The referee has seen it that way.
That it's hit him on the shoulder, but it looks to me like ball to hand.
Yeah, just bounced up awkwardly, caught in the winds a little bit.
I think Parrott was on the floor as he kicked it, and it hit him straight in the hand. And again, Mr. Creswick makes another decision that maybe baffles some of the people here in the stadium, but as it is, it's a free kick to Bedworth, and this is ideal position for Luke Rowe, the left footer. He's literally about 23 yards away from goal. Slough got a four-man wall. Creaney's trying to block the view of Mark Scott.
It's about in line with the right-hand side of the post. So
it's just off centre. So Luke Rowe standing over it for Bedworth. Takes this one. It's a good contact. And Mark Scott dives. It hits him in the belly, and he gathers that at the second attempt just as two Bedworth players were charging in. Rolls the ball out for Hicks. Hicks to bring the ball forwards for Slough. Coming up to the halfway line, trying to go past Westwood. Does well. Bringing the ball forwards for Slough still on that far-hand side. Playing down the line, looking for the run of Empire. Empire does well, keep it in the corner. Challenged by Creaney. Gets a cross in, only as far as Barney. Barney trying to reach it first. But Hines first to the ball. And it will be a goal kick. And he's going to throw the ball out, looking for the run of Creaney. Creaney to bring the ball forwards. Loses the ball, gets it back though, up towards goal scorer Bedworth for Archer. Archer plays it into Westwood. Westwood trying to play the ball over the top. Archer does well to get through his right goal side. He's going through. He shoots this in! And Archer has given Bedworth the lead. And again, it's Archer with some good running. This time he's held off the challenge of Hollis. He's got the ball through. And as Mark Scott came out, he toe pokes it past him. And Archer has two. Bedworth have two. And Bedworth look like they could be the second team to do the double over the Rebels here. That goal coming 13 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, it was really well played up by Archers. I think Westwood played the ball up to him into his chest. He chested it down, held off Hollis, who's trying to climb all over him, and then just tapped it past Scott in goal. And it's 2-1 to Bedworth.
You've got to give credit to Westwood for the ball there. I think the easier of the ball was to actually play the ball out wide to Marsden, but he didn't. He kind of played it over the top and reverse into the path of Archer. And Bedworth lead here 2-1. On 58 minutes. There's a substitution on the far-hand side for the Rebels. Lee Barney, who hasn't really got in the game, is coming off, and Ed Smith will come on the 59th minute. And we'll just wait for Smith to come on, and the game will finally restart. Just waiting for the referee to... So Slough will restart the game. Ball's with Rumbold. Rumbold just on his centre circle will go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Bedworth with their head... Oh, and no. Mark Scott, the ball's hit the fumble, and it's fallen to Archer. Archer's on his hat-trick here. He's inside the box. Hits it straight. Think he's going to get another shot. It's blocked this time by Slough. It's come through to Creaney. Creaney's going to try and dink it over the top. Hicks with the clearance. Only as Parrott slips, and Slough can bring the ball forward with Putman. Gives it into the path of Stonehouse. Stonehouse just overruns it, but does well to win that second challenge. Now into the path of Putman. Putman's got Stonehouse on the outside. He's done well to keep it in. It's out of play. It went out of play. Stonehouse couldn't keep it in, and it's out for a throw-in. But yet again, from the kick-off, Slough almost conceding again.
Parrott's gone down here. As he slipped, I think he caught his knee.
Yeah, he just slipped as he went to make that clearance. Then he's just down on the pitch now. He's I think he just twisted as he tried to do that one.
Mark's got almost very embarrassed there as the ball bubbled just before he hit it, completely scuffing his shot, and Archer was first on sight. Fortunately for Slough, Archer was going away from goal. Couldn't get a shot off straight away.
Yeah, Parrott's just got a touch of cramp there. What it is, he's just had that stretched out by one of his players,
isn't he? And
the game will restart. It'll be somehow it's a throw into Slough. I didn't get that one, but the ball's come through across. It's come through to Nathan Webb. It gives the ball away poorly to Archer. Archer does well to play the ball forward, looking for Creaney. Creaney holds the ball up well into the path of Dubidat. Dubidat comes back trying to find Archer, who'd made a good run, but it'll come through to Fraser. Fraser's under a bit of pressure here. Does well, brings the ball down, plays down straight at Warren Harris's feet. And then play through to Parrott. Parrott loses the ball to Warren Harris. Comes through to Webb. Webb dinking the ball over the top. Haynes first to the ball, but only as far as Ed Smith. First touch for him. Runs into danger. Comes out to Warren Harris on the far hand side. Harris now trying to run at low. Gives the ball into Empire. It's a touch there by Ed Smith. It's come through too far. Slough will win the ball back with Hicks just inside the Bedworth half. Plays it wide out to Putman. Putman now up against two players. He's going to turn. He's still got Stonehouse with him on the outside. He's still going to try and play out to Stonehouse. Stonehouse with the ball, trying to dink the ball forwards. It's cleared with a header up towards Parrott. Parrott won first to the ball. Hickso wins it for Slough on the halfway line. Does well, heavy touch, runs into Parrott, but does well to keep bringing the ball out. Playing it down the line. Good ball into the path of Putman. Putman's got a chance to run at Kavanagh.
He's offside.
But it's good play there by Dan Hicks. Some good defending. And
Nathan Webb is coming off for Slough, and Ryan Hope is coming on.
Yeah, so that's substitution now in the 61st minute. Nathan Webb off, and Ryan Hope will be coming on.
It's another like-for-like change in centre midfield.
And Slough maybe, I don't know if Webb was just had an injury there, or they think that maybe Hope is the man that will just change it around, or maybe sit on Westwood maybe in a different kind of role. But Hope comes on, and Hind will restart the game with a free kick. Aiming for Baker. Hicks first to the header. Does well to win the ball, but comes through to Marsden. Marsden does well, keeps the ball in up against Rumbold. It's got Putman in the centre. Gives it to Parrott. Gives the ball away though to Stonehouse, and Stonehouse plays it through to Hope. First touch for him. Back towards Rumbold. Rumbold just pushed in the back there by Marsden, and Slough will have a free kick. And Stonehouse takes it quickly towards Ryan Hope. They go back to goalkeeper Scott. Scott just takes a touch. Archer comes in on that, trying to run it down. Ball's only as far as Warren Harris. It'll come through to Westwood. Westwood first time ball, looking for the run, and it's going to run out of play. Mark Scott going to try and keep it in. He is. Keeps the ball in on that far hand side and brings it into his own box.
And Cambridge have taken the leads 1-0 at home to Biddeford.
So we're just waiting for Scott to get this game back away with a long kick. This one catches again in the wind, but get a good distance on it. Kavanagh's first to the ball, heads it down towards Dubidat. Dubidat trying to release Archer again, and that seems to be the play. Is Dubidat's coming deeper to get the ball in, and a quick ball over the top for Archer, and Hollis will have his work cut out to defend against Archer here, who's shown a lot of pace here today. It's 18 minutes gone to the second half. It's Slough Town 1, Bedworth 2, as Mark Scott drops the ball, kicks the ball long, aiming towards Empire. Bryant's underneath it, gets to the ball first, but he can't keep it in. It's out for a Slough throw-in on the far hand side, and Stonehouse will go across for the Rebels to take this one. Takes it quickly towards Rumbold. Rumbold does well, turns, gives it towards Smith. Smith trying to release it quickly. It's cleared by Haynes, only as far as Westwood. Hooks the ball forwards to Archer, who does really well. Chests the ball down, trying to play it into the path of Marsden, but good defending there by Paul Stonehouse. Wins the ball back, can turn, plays it ball to Hope. Hope immediately closed down by Westwood comes through to Fraser. Poor touch by him. Comes out to Hollis. Hollis being chased down by Creaney. Plays the ball. The referee's blocked it. Played it into the path of Dubedat. Into the path of Archer, and the ball just couldn't get it in there. And a good bit of defending there by the referee for Bedworth. I know they're struggling at the bottom, but having 12 players on the pitch is a bit unfair at the moment. But Slough have a throw in on this near hand side that Stonehouse will take. Quick throw to Putman. Putman chases it down. He's going to give it to Stonehouse. Stonehouse closed down by Archer. Archer's doing really well, but Stonehouse has won the ball back. And he's going to win a free kick there for Archer. Just trying to get to the ball. Just caught Stonehouse. This time Slough trying to get a bit of distance on it. Empire trying to get to the ball before Kavanagh. And he comes through to Marsden inside the Slough half. He turns, hits it straight at Putman. Stonehouse with the ball forwards. Only as far as Brian. Brian will clear. Only as chased down by MP. Gets a second chance. Only as far as Hope. Poor touch by him. Gives it into Dubedat. Dubedat evades two challenges. Runs into Guy Hollis. It's a free kick though. I don't think he could get out of the way, but Dubedat's gone down. I don't think Guy Hollis is that strong, but there you go. But it will be a free kick to Bedworth. This one's about almost 30, well, I say 20 odd 5 yards away from goal.
This one's dead centre though.
And this time there seems to be a number of Bedworth players looking at this one. We've got Dubedat, Rowe and Marsden. Dubedat looks like he's placed the ball down. And Slough just got their 5-man wall just on the 18-yard line. And so Dubedat is going to take the free kick. He hits it one, and that one's just overhit. There flows wide past the post there, and it's out for a goal kick to Slough. Will, your thoughts on the second half?
Well, Bedworth have come out quite strongly, and especially Archer, who's looking desperate to score his hat-trick now. But Slough letting the first goal, I think it was. Can't remember now. No, Slough scored first, didn't they?
Yep.
And they looked quite good, and then immediately Bedworth got back in the game, and Bedworth got all up for it.
Scott with the goal kick. It's MP is underneath it, heads it into the danger zone, but cleared by Brian. Flicked on by Dubedat, looking for the run of Archer, but just a little bit too much on it, and Scott gathers at the edge of his penalty area. And Archer is causing Hollis and Hicks all sorts of problems today. 2 goals already for Jordan Archer. He's their leading scorer for Bedworth as well. And he's just standing on the edge of the area. Mark Scott's trying to get it onto his right foot. And Scott's just having to kick it with Archer in front of him. Ball come through to Hope. Then it's won by Rowe. Hope wins that second ball, but only as far as Dubedat. Hope just wins the ball. He's fouled there, and Westwood's down on the pitch there. And
didn't quite see why.
I'm not sure. I think he just got caught on the hip.
Yeah.
It's either that or he's waiting for someone to play leapfrog. He's just waiting for someone to just jump straight over him. But Westwood, I think he's counting his crown jewels. Mrs. Westwood, if you're out there, just be careful tonight. Ashley might not be performing. He's had a little bit of a knock. Slough take the free kick. It's played in towards Empire. Empire still won the ball. He's up against Haynes. Comes out towards Warren Harris on that far hand side. Up against Rowe. Harris trying to get a cross in. Hit it straight at Rowe. Still got the ball on that far hand side. It's a bit pinbally over on that far hand side. Slough have given the ball away. It's going to be a throw into Bedworth. 20. We're halfway through the second half here. Just a reminder of the score. Slough 1, Bedworth 2. Bedworth looking to do the double over the Rebels. Maybe what they could do is ask the league if they could play us every week, and they might win the league. Ball's played out across to Putman. It's just on the edge of the area. Up against Kavanagh. Takes a touch. Trying to get it in. Kavanagh does well to defend that one. It's out for a corner for Slough. But Kavanagh's he's done a lot better against Putman this second half, hasn't he?
I think pretty much every Bedworth player's come out better than they were in the first half, other than possibly Haynes, who was excellent in the first half.
Yeah, so Slough will have a corner, getting taken by Putman. It's an out-swinging corner. It's just about kept in. Oh, and it's fallen to Smith at the far post. He can't keep it in, but Hines there in the Bedworth goal had just totally misjudged it. I think maybe caught in the wind, and thankfully for Bedworth, Smith couldn't get the header on target. It's out for a goal kick. And we'll just wait for Hines to get the game restarted. Not a lot going on, so Hines just looking for a little bit more. Gets the game restarted. Long kick. It's flicked on by Westwood. Underneath it is Parrott. Parrott does well to win that first header, and Archer's claiming that he was being fouled there, but Hicks is the person that clears the ball. Harris wins that first header. Westwood with a back heel. Harris wins the second header. Westwood plays the ball down the line again, looking for that run of Archer. Hollis comes over and clears for Slough. And it's a throw in on the far hand side. Bedworth will just leave that for Rowe to come across and take. And Rowe just in no hurry to take that now. Plays a throw in towards Marsden. Marsden with a bit of space. Plays it back towards Rowe. Closed down by Warren Harris. Comes back looking for an option. He hasn't got much there. Gives the ball away. Ryan Hope wins it, but only as far as Haynes, who's cleared that ball, and that's hit someone's car just on the outside there. And since that second goal, it's literally been Bedworth all the way, hasn't it?
Yeah, Slough struggled to create amounts and struggled to get forward, really.
Yeah, Slough won a free kick for a foul just by the halfway line, just inside the Bedworth half, which is taken by Fraser, looking for the run of Rumbold. Rumbold up against Parrott. Rumbold does well to keep the ball in on that far corner. He's immediately closed down by two players. Does well to win the ball back. And then Creaney tackles and gives away a corner. So Slough will have an in-swinging corner from the dead ball specialist Putman. And this time Hicks does go forwards for Slough. And Slough just got to be careful that... quite surprising that Archer seems to have gone back to mark Hicks. Dubidat and Marsden seem to be the two up to look for the counter-attack. The referee's just having a chat in the box there with a couple of players. I think it's Empire and Haynes that he's chatting to, so we'll just wait for the Putman corner to come in. Again, it's floated in closer. Good header away by Haynes. And Slough will try and win the ball back with Fraser. Fraser plays the ball out to Putman. Putman will just have to come deep to get it. Does well to turn westward. Got a chance to run into the penalty area now for Slough. Keeps going. Oh, good challenge there by Creaney. Does well, but Putman's going to win the ball back for Slough. He's got three players on him, so there should be some space. Gives it to Rumbold. Rumbold to Warren Harris, just on the corner of the box. Back towards Rumbold. Rumbold just trying to edge Slough further. Just makes a dummy. Just overruns the ball. Stretches, and then it's cleared by Rowe, and then there's a foot race now between Dubidat and Hollis does really well. Good defending there by Hollis. Good chasing by the number 10 Dubidat, but safely into the arms of the Slough goalkeeper Mark Scott. And Scott just rolls the ball out, trying to dink it forwards, and then gives it a little bit of a boot down the field. Slough win the ball. It's come through to Smith. Smith trying to release Harris. He's up against Rowe, and Rowe does poorly there. He's giving the ball away. It's come back into Smith. Smith just runs into danger zone. Well defended by Bedworth, and they've cleared it forward. Hollis with the winner header again up towards Hope. Hope just caught there as he won there by Parrott, and I can't understand what Bedworth can rate there. Slough take it quickly, too quickly for the referee's liking, and that one will be called back. Slough just having a bit of the ball, but not really getting a goal-mouth chance at the moment.
Not able to get the ball into the box or into shooting positions.
Ryan Hope with the free kick for Slough is just floating that one in. First to the ball is Archer. The ball's been flicked in. It's come through to Slough, and somehow, almost with Hines coming out, Smith has put the ball wide of the goal. And loads of players in the box. He seemed to have acres of space and time, but he couldn't get the shot on target. And Hines, this looked like he'd maybe was an open goal. Maybe.
Well, I think it just came to him quite quickly. He wasn't expecting it, and just had to throw a leg at it, and unfortunately on the wrong side of the post.
He threw a leg at it. Did he pick the leg up later?
I want to hit you over the head with it, and then later.
What, with his leg? Hines gets the game restarted with a goal kick. It breaks through to Marsden. Marsden looking for the run of Dubidat. Oh, it just hits him on the behind, but the ball's broken through to Marsden, who's lost the ball. Hollis can bring the ball away for Slough. He's closed down by Parrott, or turn back on himself, gives the ball out to Hope. Hope just had the ball played behind him, turns, looks up, sees what he can do, plays the ball over, looking for Smith. Smith just turns in the wind, gives it towards Empire, back towards Smith, and Empire looks like he's being cuddled there on the floor. The ball's with Stonehouse for Slough, up towards Putman on the left hand side, back towards Hope. Hope's closed down immediately by Parrott, loses the ball, but only as far as Hicks. Hicks goes past Dubidat, and that's a soft going down there by Dan Hicks. He's gone past Dubidat. Dubidat maybe left a trailing leg out. Hicks could have stayed on his feet. He would have been able to bring that ball forward, and that is poor refereeing. The referee has given him a yellow card. That is absolutely disgraceful by the referee. Never a yellow card in a million years.
And it looks like Parrott is down, and Westwood is down, and
two players down as well. Haynes and Parrott are down.
Hey, that Dubitat, he left his leg out, but Hicks made sure he caught it. And you have to say,
he went over, and if he'd have stayed on his feet, he would have had acres of space to take that ball forwards and bring it up. And the poor old Bedworth physio is trying to do with 2 players. I think it was Haynes. He's back up on his feet, but Parrott's down, and he was down earlier, wasn't he? So we'll see.
Yeah, there's knee problems. So.
And while there's a break in play, we'll see if we can find some latest scores for you. If you're a Kings Lynn fan and you're listening, I know you're playing Redditch, but your reserves are beating Needham Market 9-1 at the moment, and you've still got 13 minutes left there, so that's good for you. Cirencester are 1-0 up at Cheshire United. Windsor are losing 4-1 to Chertsey. And looks like Parrott's just hobbling off with the help of the physio there, so the game will restart. It'll be a free kick to Slough, a couple of yards inside their Bedworth half. Ryan Hope is the man standing over this one, and the referee blows for the game to start. He just floats that one in. Creaney with the first header away. It's come through to Hicks. Hicks heads it against Creaney, comes back towards Fraser. Fraser will just keep this one in under control, puts his foot down, looks for the run of Empire, but well spotted there by Haynes, and out for a throw in on the far hand side. And we've got 15 minutes left of this game. Slough need to get back into this game.
Needs to get a goal fairly quickly. And
there's going to be a substitution for Bedworth.
And it's Parrott is going off.
Parrott that comes off. And it's the journeyman of football, Easton Christie, who apparently once scored 6 goals in an FA Cup tie for Hales Owen a couple of years ago. He comes on for Parrott. And that is 15 minutes of the game left. So if my calculator's right, that's about 75 minutes. So Slough will have a throw in on that far hand side. Hollis to take. It's trying to flicked on by Hicks. It's going to be cleared by Marsden. Only as far as Stonehouse. Stonehouse is back. He's let the ball bounce, and he's got to be careful here because Archer's on it. Does well to head it back towards Scott. And Archer is looking ever so dangerous here.
Looking for his hat-trick.
And Scott rolls the ball out to Stonehouse. Stonehouse has got acres of space. He can just play the ball forward. Poor ball forward to Dubidat. Plays the ball forward. Archer would have been offside. So the ball's just going to roll straight through into the arms of Mark Scott, who just rolls the ball forwards. And Scott just bringing it out 15 yards outside of his box, just trying to get Slough further down the field as the wind's picking up a little bit. Long ball forwards. It's over the top of Haynes. Does well to adjust and get the ball back. Win the ball with Harris. Flick through to Smith. Smith trying to flick the ball on to Harris. It's cleared by Westwood on the far hand side, but only as far as Fraser. Fraser in towards Hope. Hope will just try and run a couple of players. Does well to get the ball, but it's giving it away. Rumbold, a good challenge there by Rumbold. It's come to Rowe, and this time it's Creaney with the clearance, looking for Archer. Archer's gone down. He thinks it's a foul, but the referee, Mr. Creswick, doesn't, and Slough will bring the ball back out with Hollis, playing it across to Hicks. And gives it up towards Rumbold. Rumbold just turns inside the centre circle for Slough, trying to bring the ball forward. In a good battle there with Westwood. Holds off the challenge well, trying to play the ball forward, trying to release Putman on that far hand side, but Cavenders first to the ball, and that'll be out for a Slough throw. And we're just waiting for a Slough throw to come in. It's going to be Stonehouse that takes the throw for the Rebels. It comes back to him, back towards Putman. Putman's got time to turn, but just overruns the ball. Westwood with the clearance, only as far as Hicks, towards Rumbold. Dubidat comes across for Bedworth, and again that ball over the top, looking for Archer, but just catches again in the wind and rolls into the arms of Mark Scott, who bowls the ball out, looking for Dan Hicks on the halfway line, just dinking the ball over for Putman. Again it catches in the wind, this time the wind coming across the pitch, and it's out of play, and it will be a Bedworth throw. We have 12 minutes left. The score is Slough Town 1, Bedworth 2. Bedworth looking for their first away win of the season. Only 4 draws so far for Bedworth away, but they seem to love playing against Slough. Ball's over the top just for Christie to run out. He's
tripped Hollis there.
To say he's a little bit chunky would be maybe... I don't know. If he was on the bus, if he was on the bus, you don't want him at the back, do you? Your bus would be doing wheelies all the way back to Bedworth. So Scott's trying to take the kick, and the wind is actually blowing the ball back. as Scott takes this free kick long, aimed towards Smith. It catches in the wind and curls miles away from where it intended. Hicks in a foot race now with Archer. Hicks does well to control the ball, turns well, gives it to Stonehouse, but Stonehouse can't keep it in. It's out for a throw in. Hitchin have equalised. It's now Hitchin 2, Histon 2. There's a substitution on the far hand side for the Rebels. Coming off, surprisingly, is Lewis Putman with 10 minutes of the game left, and coming on is Jai Dillon.
Be interesting to see if Dylan plays left wing, because he's usually left back.
No, well, I think Jai's played left wing for Hitchin in his time, so. But there you go. So Dylan will come across to this left-hand place. Kings Lynn reserves 10, Needham Market 1. There you go. Told you they got double figures. They still got 11 minutes left of that game. But here at Holloway's Park, Marsden will get the game back underway with a throw-in. It's well won by Stonehouse up towards MP that two Bedworth players come across, but Dylan does well to get into the game first. It will come through to Stonehouse, looking for the ball forward. Ed Smith, the only player forwards for Slough, comes through to Dylan. Dylan heads it into the middle, looking for Hope, but cleared by Creaney, and that one's gained a little bit, and that's out of the ground. And we'll need another ball. Ball. Oh, there's one there already. Look at that. That's good. Stonehouse has got it. Stonehouse will take the throw in for Slough, and Empo just going to hold the ball up. Does well to hold it. Just got a little kick there. Ball's come through to Rumble. Slough can't use any more substitutions. Ball's come off Chris. I thought it would come off Christie, but the referee says no. It's come off Lee Rumble. It'll be a throw to Bedworth, and they're going to take their time with the throw.
Our players aren't making their way forwards very quickly. It's allowing to get their foot on the ball and control the game a little bit more here.
Yeah, so Marsden with the throw in for Bedworth, just waiting for the play here, just throws the ball in, looking for Archer. Archer's being closely marked, but Marsden does really well. Gives the ball out to Dubidat, runs into his own player, comes off Dylan though, so it'll be another throw for Bedworth. And we'll just wait to see what's going on. It's flicked on towards Dubidat, does well to keep the ball in that far corner, up against Stonehouse, plays the ball forward, looking for Archer. Archer's got in, plays it across goal, and he's looking for his hat-trick, can't get it. Fraser with the clearance up towards Harris, and Slough with a big lead off there. Harris is up against Rowe, cuts inside, still got Creaney on him as well. Hits it straight at Rowe.
And Archer stayed down after that shot. He must have got caught as he took the shot across goal.
Yeah, there will be a substitution for... it looks like Archer's game is over. Archer's going to come off, and coming on in his place is Arno Wint. And that is with 9 minutes of this game left. It remains here. Is it Aaron Wint?
It's meant to be Aaron Wint.
Oh, right. Yep. The team sheet says Arno Wint. We've been lovelyly told it's Aaron Wint. I was going to say Arno. What a great name that would be. Was he named after a shopping centre somewhere, isn't it? Isn't there an Arno? But Archer, the 2-goal hero for Bedworth, is substituted there. He almost got his hat-trick. He'll be replaced by Aaron Wint. And Slough have 8 minutes of this game left to try and get something back. Or Bedworth will be on the phone to the leagues, asking to play Slough every week.
Archer's slowly making his way off. He's off now.
Yeah, he got a good round of applause from the handful of Bedworth fans that had made the trip down in that far-hand corner, who's just laying in the dugout there. As we've got Kings Lynn 1, Redditch 0. That is quite a surprise. Redditch near the top of the table there. Ball's played forward. It's come through to Dubidat. Dubidat wins a header, but only as far as Hicks. And then Wint scored in that game against Slough. Scored the second goal. Ball's played forwards, and Slough can't keep the ball in, and it's a throw-in. And it's a throw into Bedworth, which Marsden is going to take. Cambridge City 2-0 up. Now at Chesham. Still waiting for Marsden to take this throw in. The referee's just chatting to Westwood. Ball's thrown in. Hicks with the header, only as far as Dubidat. Dubidat coming deep to win the ball. The ball will come to Christie. And Christie's still got the ball, holding up well against Hollis. He's still got it. Dylan comes across for Slough to try and win the ball. Wins it back, but it will break through to Dubidat. Closed down by Rumble, but does well. Good challenge there by Dylan, but it's out for a Bedworth throw.
And that was Cambridge 2-0 against Biddeford.
Was it Biddeford? I can't remember
yeah.
they were playing.
Chesham at home to Cirencester.
There you go. We get there in the end. Christie gets the ball back. It's holds off the challenge of Rumbold. Through to Marsden. Puts the ball in. Hicks with a clearance only as far as Hope. Hope just turns into danger but does well to get the ball out to Warren Harrison. I'm not sure if Luke Rose had a shot there, but he's hit the car park. And Slough will get the ball back in underway. They're still losing here with literally 6 minutes plus whatever the referee, Mr. Creswick, adds on. 6 minutes to go here at Holloway's Park. Gosport have come back against 1-0 down against Maynard to lead 2-1. The ball's held up in the air. It will break through to Aaron Wind, but it's won by Slough. Comes through to Dylan. Dylan closed down by Marsden. The two Slough strikers are literally standing right next to each other. They could have been holding hands. Ball's broken through to Rumbold. Rumbold will play the ball out to Fraser. Fraser on that far hand side plays it into Smith. So he's got time to turn. Just got caught there, and Westwood gives away a free kick. John Underwood, the Slough joint manager, running on to get the ball back. He's trying to get Slough into this game. They've got a free kick. It's about 30 odd yards away from goal. Unfortunately for Slough,
Lewis Pumman specialist
situation. Yeah, your dead ball man is sitting on the bench. You're taking him off. So it looks like Paul Stonehouse will take this free kick for Slough. Mind you, he did have a good shot in the first half. So if he has another shot, we could. He's trying to take the free kick, but the wind's just blowing the ball away. It needs like one of those American football kicker stands. Stonehouse dinks the ball across in. It's flicked off. It's come through to Hicks on the far hand side. He can't keep it in. He crashes into the wall at the end there. It's out for a goal kick.
It needs to be like the Six Nations rugby. Have that little tripod they put the ball on. Take the kicks.
Yeah, so Bedworth just taking their time. Hines just taking his time with this goal kick. Chertsey 4, Windsor 2 is the latest score. But still here at Holloway's Park, it remains Slough 1, Bedworth 2.
And Hitchin have taken the lead against Histon 3-2.
And Hines with the clearance. It's won by Hollis. Dylan's beaten to the ball by Westwood. This time Hope can't header it. It's headed towards Marsden. Marsden looking... There's a slight difference in the running speed between Easton Christie and Jordan Archer.
A slight.
That's. I'll tell you what. No one has ever said slight against Easton Christie as he is at the moment. But Slough will have restart this game with a goal kick, and Mark Scott will get this game underway. I don't know what he's trying to do there, but he's trying to get this game back underway. Slough just got 5 minutes left to try and get something out of this game. Ball's played up to Empire. Empire does well to win the ball, but no one else there. As Rowe can clear for Bedworth, trying to release Marsden. Marsden can't keep that one in. That's just overrun a little bit. Slough will have a throw in just level with their penalty area. Slough just out of sorts second half. It looks like they put Dan Hicks up front.
Yeah, we haven't been able to put too many passes together recently.
Yeah, so it looks like Hicks is playing as a makeshift striker, but the ball's cleared by Kavanagh only as far as Creaney, and it's cleared this time long by Hope. Hits the ball high up in the air. Rose underneath it. Good touch by him, but he can't keep it in, and it's out for a throw in just wide the away dugouts on that far hand side, which Fraser takes quickly towards Ryan Hope. Gives the ball back towards Fraser. Plays the ball forwards looking for MP. MP up against Haynes. Looked like there was a foul there, but Haynes has brought the ball forwards and played forwards to Wint. Wint does well to control the ball. Gives it to Christie. Heavy touch by him. Trying to play the ball back, but well won by Rumbold. Does well to turn. Now he's going to try and release the ball, looking for the run of Smith on that far hand side. Rowe does well to defend for Bedworth. Slough just trying to get a bit further down. Going to be a throw in on that far hand side. Hollis immediately goes over for the Rebels to take. Chesham have had a goal disallowed in that game as well. So just now to try and get them back. And Hollis with this long throw on the far hand side. Just waiting for the throw to come in. It's against the wind. He's maybe just waiting for that little bit of wind to drop. It's flicked. It's well won there by Christie. Good defensive header by him. It's going to be Wint up against Stonehouse. So Stonehouse, a little nudge in the back there, but the ball will come through, and Scott just comes to the edge of his area to try and take it. Heavy touch by him allows Wint to close him down, and Scott boots the ball forwards. It stays in play because of the wind. Rumbold heads it forward towards Harris. Harris has got time to turn. Immediately closed down by two players, but does well to win the ball forwards. Still going, and then he kicks out.
A silly tackle there.
It's Dubidat, and he'll get. He should get a yellow card for that one. He just lost the ball there. He's just taken a wild swing at it. Dubidat was first to the ball, and a definite card. Just matters whether the referee, Mr. Creswick, thinks it's yellow or red.
I think he was getting a bit frustrated. He's had 2 or 3 players on him all day, and again he had 2 or 3 players trying to win the ball off him. And as soon as he lost it, Harris then swiped out at Dubitat, and it's going to be a clear free kick, and it's going to be yellow card from
yellow
there.
card for Warren Harris on the 44th minute of this second half. So the second yellow card of the game goes to another Slough player. That's just getting some treatment on that far hand side. And Slough will just have a few more minutes left. Bedworth will be hoping to hold out for this first away win of the season in the league. And in the FA Vars, Hartley Whitney versus Hereford, both teams down to 10 men in that game. We're just waiting for the game to restart. The Dubedat's been treated. He's just going to wait to come back on the pitch. The game will restart with a free kick. Hines from the Bedworth goal will retake this one. The referee's urging him to get on with it. As Hines plays the ball forward looking for Christie. Christie does well to chest into the path of Wint. Gets the ball back, does Christie. He's on the edge of the box. He's trying to go past one. Loses the ball and Slough will bring the ball out with Stonehouse. Tries to play the ball. It's just caught in the wind and it's fallen nicely for Dylan. But Dubedat's first to the ball. Flicking the ball forwards. That's going to catch in the wind. Marsden won't keep that one in and it's going to be out for a throw in. And Slough deeply pinned into their own corner flag here. Take it quickly. It's headed on by Hope, but it will break through to Creaney. Creaney heads it back towards Westwood. Heavy touch by him, and Rumbold can bring the ball forwards for Slough. Slough looking to get on the attack. MP wants the ball. He's told him where he wants it. He's got the ball. He's now got a chance to run against Haynes. Haynes has had a very good game. Runs into him. He wins a free kick there. And then Kavanagh has got to get a yellow card for kicking the ball away. Haynes has gone down. And to me, there is no difference between that and the challenge that Sean Fraser did in the first half. For me, it's a man's game and it's football. For this referee, it's not. And Haynes gets the first yellow card for Bedworth, but he's not seen it. I mean, Kavanagh has just booted that ball. That ball.
Yellow. It's a second yellow card.
Dubedat
got a yellow.
Oh yeah. Of course he did. Dubedat got one. Yeah. But that ball's way on its way back down the A355 into Slough. But Slough have a free kick.
Mark Scott has made his way forwards.
And it's going to be a free kick to Slough. It's going to be taken by Ryan Hope. Drills it in. It's cleared by Christie. Mark Scott's up for Slough. It's come through to Fraser inside the centre circle, playing the ball forwards. It's looked forward. Rumbold trying to head it in. It's cleared by Haynes. Up towards Wint. Wint's got an open goal. Framer, if he can lay it on. Westwood's going to play it through to Marsden. Surely Marsden was offside.
No, he was in his own half. He's onside.
And then Scott has caught Marsden with an open goal. This is going to be a red.
It's through on goal.
It's a yellow card. What is this referee doing? It's a clear red card. And now Westwood and Scott are shoving each other. Scott's had one yellow. I think he's trying to get a second yellow card a minute later. I know it's difficult to say because Scott was making the run away from goal. But if Marsden wins the ball,
he's through on goal.
He's through on goal with an open goal. It's got to be a red card. It surely has to be the red card. And yet the referee, Mr. Creswick, says it's a yellow card, and then it's caused loads of problems because Westwood is there. I think he's going to get a yellow card for trying to indicate that it should have been a red. We don't like to see that. It's
a Stonehouse yellow as well.
I think he must have got yellow cards for Christmas. He's given a yellow card to Paul Stonehouse in the 90th minute, and then he's given a yellow card to Ashley Westwood in the 90th minute.
That all came from a Slough free kick. Scott had gone forward for us. Poor free kick. Then Bedworth counter attack. I think it was Marsden did really well to stay on side, and he's brought a foul from Scott, who should have been sent off really.
And the referee he's not had the best game. I wouldn't say that his linesmen they seem to have been quite fine, but the referee himself, he's not had the best game here today. He's made a couple of decisions. That is definitely one of them. Dubedat's going to stand over this free kick 25 yards out. Hits the ball. It's wasted that one way over the top, and it will be Mark Scott's actually jumped the fence to try and get the ball back. That's how desperate he is. He's going to throw the ball over. He wants to get back in the game. I make it we've played 48.5 minutes of this second half. I'm not sure what the referee's doing. If he's playing until Slough win, he's going to be here for a long time. Scott with the clearance. It's well won there by Brian. It will come straight through to Scott, just on the edge of his area. Rolls the ball forwards, and Wint immediately tries to close it down. Again, kicked forwards. Catches in the wind again. MP wins the ball for Slough towards Rumbold. Plays the ball forward. It's up to Smith. Smith towards Warren Harris. It's cleared away by Creaney. And that bounces. It's in the stand here. We're waiting for someone. Stonehouse is jumping the fence here to try and get the ball back. And it's a shame that Slough didn't have this urgency at the start of the second half. Played the ball forwards. It's cleared well by Dubida. And as far as Stonehouse, he heads it on. Empire trying to win the ball. It's going through to Dylan. Dylan trying to win the ball. That's got to be a throw-in for Slough. Slough still in this game somehow. Still playing. If you're sitting there watching The Voice tonight, we'll still be commentating at the same time, trust me. It's going to be a long throw by Guy Hollis. This time Mark Scott doesn't go up for it. A long throw in by Hollis. It's come through to MP on the edge of the area. Hits it straight at a player. Slough appealing for a penalty. It's not been given. It's come through to Fraser, who hits it straight at Wint. Wint does well to block that one for Bedworth. It's come through to Rowe, dinking the ball forwards. Ryan Hope is back for Slough. He controls the ball. What's he doing? Oh, he's trying to play the ball forwards. Gets caught in the wind. Creaney's free header, only as far as Hope. Touches down inside the Bedworth half. Plays it forward. It's a poor touch. Dubby clears that one out. And
Slough calling for a penalty
it's a throw
there.
into Bedworth, but Slough take it quickly. Rowe with the header, and Winst and the chance to run at the Slough defence. He's picked the ball up inside his own half. He's doing well to hold the ball up. Good play here by the substitute. Plays the ball back to Rowe. Rowe with a poor touch. Slough still with the ball, looking forwards for something, but not getting anything at the moment. They clear the ball long. Ball's up. MP up against Rowe. MP does well to win the ball on the far hand side. He can now run past Rowe. Does well to get past him. As he overrun it, he's won a corner. No, he's not. It's a goal kick. And that may be the last thing. We're in the 51st minute. I know you're loving the commentary, but yeah, we'll be here till 6 o'clock. It's fine. We've got nowhere to go to. He's obviously playing on till Slough equalise, isn't he? So there you go. So Denham Hines with this goal kick. Can Bedworth get this first away win of the season? Mr. Creswick still hasn't blown his whistle. He's looking at his watch. And the ball's come in. It's fallen. And that is the full-time whistle here. And Bedworth become only the second side this season to do the double over Slough Town. Their first away victory of the season. And all the action in a spell of 10 minutes in the start of the second half. Slough take the lead through Charlie MP with a good finish. And then fall asleep. And Archer done really well today to grab his 2 goals. He's won the game for Bedworth. I think he's been a really good player to watch. He's got a lot about him. And Bedworth thoroughly deserve on that second half performance 3 points today.
Yeah, I think the whole 90 minutes they deserved it. They did really well in the first half. The wind against them, keep a clean sheet, kept Slough out, only giving Slough one chance now from 30 yards out, not really a chance. And then second half, haven't really used the wind to advantage particularly. They've hit well on counter-attack and they've scored the goals and created the most chances.
Yeah, and Slough will be disappointed. I mean, I think a lot of people were maybe thinking that Bedworth, their position in the league is low, but they've been playing well, and they're only 7 points away from safety, and depending on the way that the games are going today, they'll be a little bit closer to that.
That'll be reduced, although some of the teams ahead of them
Cheshire United full-time score. Cheshire United 1, Cirencester 3. Cambridge won 2-0 against Bideford.
So that'll help Bedworth. That'll help move up a little bit.
Yeah, so Slough will be disappointed not to continue that good form that they, and it's a strange that against Hitchin
played excellently.
They played really, really well. Second half today, first half there wasn't too bad. Second half today they've been the poorer of the two sides, but the first half was a bit of a non-game, wasn't it?
It was all about Hollis and Haynes, really. Excellent in the first half, stopped any teams from creating any chances, and then second half counter-attacks.
And so there you go. So full time here score is Slough Town 1, Bedworth 2, and the next time we'll be with you is next Saturday when we'll be away to Dorchester Town, and Slough will be hoping to have a better result than they have had today. But until then, we want to thank you for listening in. Will, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me again.
And we'll be back next Saturday, weather permitting. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Thank you.
Play review to the referee, which is absolutely shocking. How that's not a red card when Marsden's just got to walk the ball into an empty net. I will never ever know. That's absolute. Can you imagine if the game had been 1-1 at that point?
Yeah.
That's absolutely disgraceful.
And some of the other yellow cards, half of them were.
I mean, this one down here.